Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rockin' Rodney. We're jamming out.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Gary?
Oh, man. Woo. I don't know.
What's going on? Man, what a nice today.
Oh, man, it was like surprisingly nice.
Oh, my goodness. Compared to Wednesday when it was like 8 degrees.
Yeah. And Tuesday, and well, I'm comparing my temperature gauge to the mornings at like 4:15 when I go to work.
Right.
And golly, it's been cold. I wore my thick socks and my thermal pants for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, well, didn't like Tuesday or Wednesday they told you not even to come in?
Yeah, we got shut down for Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I think that was in anticipation of the snow that we kind of didn't get.
Yeah, it kind of went around us, didn't it?
Yeah, we kind of didn't get what they thought we was going to get, but
all right, that's okay.
So,
we'll take it. But it still came down with the temperature, that's for sure.
Oh man, it got super cold. Jeepers.
Yeah.
Terrible. Jim Lauer is watching there. He says, "Hey guys," and Shannon Wise, what's up, Shannon? Jim Robinson, you're late.
What's up, guys? How we doing, everyone?
Jim had to peel off them gloves.
Peel them off.
Took him a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, peel them off.
Laddie BB watching.
We're working with Tim, you know.
What's up, Laddie BB?
Laddie is my neighbor.
There's Nick. Excuse me.
Hey, Nick. He's on YouTube. You coughing? I'm
done. There's Nick Roberts. What's up? He says, "Sup, dudes."
What's up?
Who else? David Maxon is watching. Randy Rhodes. Isn't Randy Rhodes a wrestler? That's
Dusty Rhodes.
Okay. Well, he's got a son, right, that wrestles. Maybe his name's Randy. I don't know. Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, that's great. Man, your shelves look great back there. I see you got your lawnmower back in on her side.
Yeah, it belongs over there.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's Barry Peter. He says, "Hey, kids." Hello, Mr. Barry. How's it going? Yeah, like it was, I looked at my phone, it was 59 degrees. And
yeah, I know, right?
Door up, the sun was shining. It compared to the cold weather we had, it felt like it was 90.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. You know, I think it was like Friday when we went to Mark's. It was still like 35 degrees, but it was like we had a coat on. You know what I mean? It felt so nice because the wind wasn't blowing, the sun was out.
Oh, yeah. If he's wearing a black shirt and the sun on you, it felt really good. Yeah. And my son and I went out in the street. We hadn't been able to play catch with the football for, I don't know, maybe 2 months probably. Yeah. So we was out in the street playing catch, and man, the sun beating on me in my black shirt, and got kind of warm. It felt really good.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
Nice. He's out there in t-shirt and shorts.
Sure. That's great.
That's him.
Yeah. What's old Jim Robinson saying?
Jim says, "No, not late. Been waiting. You came at 7:01. Not over here, Jim. That's not in Wichita time zone.
Time zone. That's funny.
Not here."
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it was nice, man. Did we get some racing this weekend from Georgia?
Oh, yeah, man. That got me fired up. I don't know about you. The pictures you sent, I think it did.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to show those off. But yeah, man, I mean, there's some great stuff going on down there at Ducks Race. And then next weekend we're at back at Bradenton, right?
Yep. Some pro mods, yeah.
Pro mods.
Jose. Yep, Troy, Jose freaking Rican is watching. What's up, Jose? It's been a while since he's hung out over here.
Yeah.
Dave Music and Amy Music.
Right on. Troy, you at a hotel or what are you doing? He said he got
Troy. What a crummy situation he got dealt into with, man, with a little strandedness, not stranded, but
yeah, especially on a Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
But
Ray Parsons, hey Ray Parsons.
What's up, Ray?
Yep. Do you do a little playing around? I know we took a little trip. We had a little fun.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Man, so midweek, you know, Mark hit me up and he's like, what's Troy saying? Let's read that real quick.
Let's check this here. Troy says, wish I could be part of this show tonight. Great group hosting and person being interviewed. Sorry, getting drunk at a bar right now.
Troy has some problems, man. He got a little flat tired, rolled through St. Louis, so he's stuck.
Troy, you'd be perfect tonight. We would appreciate your comments.
There you go. All the billet unlimited.
Oh. Yeah, don't go nowhere, Troy. Freakin' Rican says, what's up, fellas? Freakin' Rican has big things coming this year. The comeback. Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
There you go.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you got in store, man.
Heck yeah. Has he still got that red GT?
I don't know. I imagine he does.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll spill us some secrets.
There you go.
We won't tell nobody. Nah.
No.
We'll say nothing to nobody.
Just, 20, just all the views there.
Just our tens and tens of listeners will know.
Tens and tens. But yeah, no, so he was calling and he's like, hey, everything, he sold it. All right.
Sold it 6 years ago. Okay. So something new and exciting is in the works. All right.
But, and so if everything worked out, he told me, Friday afternoon, you can come on up and let's do some stuff. And then I know you were talking with him as well, because you were wanting to drop some stuff off. And then, so we were able to coordinate that. And he hit me up Thursday and he's like, it's a go. If you want to come up, I'm ready for you. And so I don't know which is better for me, having all the parts or having my bill paid off. I don't know. One of the, not sitting there thinking about that, I don't know.
I'll trade you. I'd have paid your bill and you can pay mine.
Oh my goodness, man. My bill is a little bitty bill compared to BMP, Big Money Putnam over there. You know what I mean? Billet, Bryant, I just got all this little stuff, people don't want, you know what I mean?
Well, that you can get by with that. That Ford stuff is so strong.
Well, that's
right. That LS stuff is weak.
Oh yeah. No, LS is a good motor too. I mean, it's the SBF 2.0.
Yeah. And it worked out really good because you was anticipating that call that your stuff is ready, and it happened. And he sent me a message and said, hey, your crank is here. So I said, because he had one cylinder head and I had the other one here. I said, okay, when do you want this other cylinder head? And he said, oh, maybe next week. Yeah. So I said, well, I'll just ride up with Rodney on Friday. And I had cylinder head, intake manifold, valve covers, oil pan, oil pump, a handful of stuff to take up to him anyway. So we just made a trip out of it.
Heck yeah, man. That was a good time.
I love going up there and talking to him. I hate it that it gobbles up, an hour or two or three of his time. But
I know it's pretty cool though, especially when I'm with you, because he treats us like royal, going out back and going to his office and just all that stuff. So that's good stuff. Went to the dyno room, went to the, just kind of walked it around. Yeah, BMG. Lauer knows it's BMG.
Jim Lauer.
Yeah. Big money. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that we got to look at your crank and got to do that, looking at your cylinder heads. And of course he was eyeing your intake and just seeing how nice that thing is. And so, yeah. And then didn't you hear something else yesterday, or was that today?
That was yesterday. He texted me and said, we was there Friday. Right. Friday he said, we have almost all of the big parts, but he said he expected anytime the rockers to show up and the pistons.
Yeah.
That's what he said Friday.
Right.
So yesterday he sends me a text and says, hey, I got an email yesterday. He got the email Friday then. And he texted me Saturday and said, hey, I got the email that your pistons are on the way back.
Nice.
They are on the way to Salina. So woo,
man.
And he's, and expecting rockers anytime. So all those big items that, take time that they're made to order, they're on the way. Or Troy says, just need to get this straight before I sign off. I plan to make that little LS of Gary's my bitch and wait for Rodney at the finish line each time.
Oh,
dang!
he has been
Oh, Troy, that's awesome.
Man. Yeah, Troy's gonna be going down the return road when we're going past the finish line. That's what he's saying.
Man, that's hilarious. I can't wait, Troy. I can't wait to get my ass whipping by you, okay?
No kidding. That's nothing but a good time.
Because that means he's back together and out racing.
That's what I was getting ready to say too. And
that also means I am too.
And also family car.
Greg.
Greg. Yeah, that's another one that's going to be out and about and having some fun with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, Troy. Keep them coming, Troy. Keep them coming. You'll just keep me fired up. Charles Wickham says, must be nice to have Salina talk to you. Could never get them to talk to me or return a phone call. Oh, that's
too bad.
Yeah, that's
sorry to hear that.
Dang it. Yeah. He says, I'm not bitter.
Oh,
Dick, dang. Yeah. Troy getting rowdy over there.
Oh, Troy is getting rowdy.
You notice he has to go clear out of town to talk shit.
Oh yeah, he's almost in another state.
He can just be up here in north, up on Tyler Road. He's got to go way out of town.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well, you want to see some?
Let's check it out.
Stuff we did.
We'll get Keith in here. We'll run through a couple pictures of what we did Friday, and then we'll get Keith in here.
That's right. Let's move over here. What'd I miss? Mopar guys. That's right, Nick. Yawn. Mopar guys. Jose says, Gary, is the red machine done? Ready to race? The first question, it is not done. It is at a body shop getting the nose, hood, and hatch fit perfectly because I'm not a fitter. I suck. And then it's got to make a stop to Keith's shop for a little bit of work. And then from there, it's going to get those body panels painted and the rest of the body touched up. It's a little rough, look a little worn after 12 years of paint. So it needs a little touching up. My red Sharpie marks need some touch up. So
fill in the blank, huh?
Yeah, so I'm not ready for anything. I'm in shop jail. So just waiting on stuff. That's all. And I don't have an engine, but that's coming along pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. You might have an engine on your floor there, and you got that crane coming in, to get it out of your truck, and
that's why I got to get that installed.
I know.
I got to be ready.
Yeah, I see baby faces on.
Baby faces on. I got to refire up my deal here. I backed out.
Andrew.
Andrew,
Mopar boys.
Andrew, nothing wrong with the Mopar guys.
That's funny.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to our partners here. Our great partners in 2025, Mid-America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest, Mobile Recon, Mobile Detailing, Sandlin, Iron and Metal, Auto Salvage, and Harry Street Carpet. These are our super duper awesome partners in 2025. Thank you very much.
Raise the roof. Raise the roof.
Yeah. And our podcast channel on YouTube, Heads Up Racing Gary and Hot Rod Podcast. If you see this little display, how this looks, you're in the right place. Hit the subscribe. This happens on there every week. And I'm going to give a little pimp to my YouTube channel, Gary Putnam Racing Welding and Fabrication. Jump over there, hit subscribe. I got stuff happening there off and on, not as often as I'd like to. Sometimes I just run out of things to think of. But when racing gets kicked off,
great videos over there.
There'll be more. Yeah. It's you just got to be consistent and keep after it.
Sure. It's a lot of work.
It's kind of fun to go do a little editing and stuff and kind of think of different things to do. So
Jim's on you.
What's Nick say? Nick Nick's, I'm originally a Mopar guy. That's why I have a mouth, but then I decided I wanted to go fast. So he's got a Fox body. Fox body. The recipe, Fox body and an LS.
Oh, my goodness.
Jim says, so is your car getting Pro Mod wheel tubs also?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
is that what's going on? All
it
right.
is. I'll say it.
It's official.
Keith can talk about it too if he wants to. I don't care.
All right.
There's Doug Perry. Hey, Doug. He says, how you guys doing?
Cool.
We're rolling here. Yep. So give my YouTube page a subscribe.
Good videos. A lot of good videos on
It's
that
free.
one.
It's free to subscribe. No,
It is.
Yep. So here we are hanging out with Mr. Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Up there at Advanced Engine Machine. Him and Stefan.
Yeah. It's good to go see those cats.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him since December. You had been there between there sometime.
Yeah.
You went to pick up some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I've got to see him and Missy and Stefan, and there's a couple other cats rolling around there.
Yeah, Jeff at the front desk. Jeff, yep.
Yep. Yep. There's some of your stuff there, isn't it?
Yep. There's a oil pan, oil pump. That box had some other stuff in it and the valve springs there with some leftover spare valve springs for my big block, and he's going to buy them back.
Yeah.
And I'll have some spare LS stuff eventually.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Those
Better
are
say
next to that. We'll just clear that up right now.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to ask Mark.
Oh, that's funny. I would say no.
Hey, they might be yours. He said to keep the boost under 30, didn't he?
No, he said you're going to go over 30. I was like, yeah, that's when we leave the line at 30, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And $7,000. Woo.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
Good picture.
That's a good picture. Look at that.
Look at
What's
that.
going on here?
This is just the haul back, that's what we brought back with us. And so now we're going to start assembling, but this is basically, I took this shot just to thank all the people that helped me out, so now we'll start assembly, and get going. So it's a Ford, it's a small block Ford, but I'm excited for this deal. It's a little bit more stroke, a little bit more compression, a little bit better cylinder head, a little bit better intake. Hopefully go a little bit faster. That's basically it. And so,
And the people you're racing, when you get your ass whipped by this little white coupe with the shiny wheels, there's nothing exotic going on here.
No.
There's no Hemis, there's no crazy things. It's just pretty simple parts.
Yeah. Everything you can basically get out of a catalog or call somebody, you know what I mean? So.
Yep. It just works really good.
Yeah.
Nick says small block.
It's an aftermarket bore. It'll be 4125, maybe just a touch over, but yeah. And it's an RDI block there.
Okay. Andrew says Mark has Chris's Gen 3 Hemi almost done. Didn't we see the crank?
Yeah,
right?
We saw that there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was kind of like right there, near mine.
Next to your crank.
Yeah, we was looking at both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary.
RDI block. And so that's basically Ford Motorsport is what it is back in the day. Yeah. They make a Carroll Shelby now that's like the newer version of it, but it's a good piece. Both of those blocks there are RDIs. So far, so good. Troy says he gets 2/10 with just having black wheels. Oh, man, he got a head start? What's going on?
You can't talk shit and ask for a head start. Maybe he's thinking that the black wheels just give him an automatic 2/10 advantage.
Something's going on there, but yeah, it's just cool picking this up, and we were able to put it on in the back seat. And the same day, those Stainless Works headers came in, and so I just thought we'd grab a quick picture, but we'll see how it goes. I started the assembly process and started kind of mocking stuff up, and it worked out good too, because next week not this Monday, this week coming up, but the following, I need to burn a week's vacation. So, just kind of fiddle around with it throughout the week here and get the assembly going. And and it's going to be.
You're going to get some stuff done.
I hope to. Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is those tubes that we talked about. I might have to. Oh, you might see the little white coupe behind you.
Eric Knott says, "Nice."
Thanks, Eric.
Isn't he? Yeah, isn't he? He's a small block Ford guy too, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that nice
Mustang.
It's
a 427. It's the same size your motor is. It's nothing radical. The one to the left is 400. So
okay, yeah.
What's up, Larry?
Larry Hunt, howdy boys. Hello, Mr. Larry. Doug Perry balling.
Yeah. And those are just the ones to the left. Those are Glidden Victor heads on that 400-inch motor, and then the ones in the bag are the Glidden Victor 2s. I wanted to get another set of Glidden Victors, but BES said they don't make them anymore, so we went with the BE Victor 2s. So,
right.
But so it worked out.
I've seen them with my eyeballs. They are really nice.
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, this will be the nicest piece I've had, So, but that little 400 runs good too, so I didn't want to just kick it to the curb,
I hope mine runs as good as that little 400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, there's the crankshaft there, and got that from John Calivas, and he helped me with that, and then got it up to Mark, and they did the full balance job and everything. I think ended up taking three weights. He was telling me 2 in the front, 1 in the back after they did the weight on it. So nice piece.
I won't say how many mine took.
Look at Larry. Good.
Larry. Good looking LS hot rod. Yep. Larry knows his stuff, doesn't he? He knows.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just there's the block there, and just got it back, and basically I'm getting ready to clean it at this point, and start putting all the plugs back in it, and just clean it all up real good. Mark cleans it, but he says to do a final clean before we start assembly. So I got a little area in my shop where I can get this done. It's kind of a clean area.
Oh, Darren making predictions. Darren says 420s, 430s coming. Man,
that's the goal. We'll see. Those 700-pound doors, it's hard to say.
Oh man. E, do you have any idea the power capability of this block? Any idea?
Yeah, I actually was talking to just doing some old research, from the motorsport days. But you got to remember, John Gullett and back in the Pro 5.0, this is what they were using. So
yeah, and I only asked that because I got scared, when Dart said what their cast aluminum block is capable of, and it's bad news.
Well, and even the new Carroll Shelby block, it only has the 4 bolts and the 3 mains, and the number 1 and number 5 doesn't have them, but these blocks have them still, and to hold that crankshaft in there. But that other deal made 2,087, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's nice stuff, man. Nick says, "Look at that bore, dang old 500-incher." Dang it, he's got good eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Hey, Jose freaking Rican says, "Hot rod, what power adder? The best."
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I got the one of Jose's turbos. What is it? The G55, Gary? GTR
it's a GT55.
Yeah, and we just got it this year from Thomas, Joseph Thomas, and
Garage Built.
From Garage Built. And last year we had a 110, and then we got a little bigger one this year. So yeah.
Troy says, "Damn Pro Mod shit right there makes those 700-pound doors worth nothing." Well, both of us just hope we make the power of them dang billet Hemis.
Oh, I know, right?
Oh man,
are we calling them the billet boys? Him and Greg?
Yes, him and Greg. That's right.
That's
Chris
funny.
Paget says, "Nice parts."
Oh, thanks, man. Could have bought a house, right?
So Donna Newberry,
Goose.
and Goose said to keep the paint code in case you jump to 10.5 and race Adam.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Oh man,
yeah. Put the other doors back on. Yeah,
right.
I still got those other doors too, so they're ready to go. But yeah, Adam's going to be fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jose says 420s, 170. He's making a prediction right here. 420s, 178 or better. Man, woo-wee.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Darren says poor old nitrous guy gets one kit.
One kit, that's it.
One turbo, one kit.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's the bottom side.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just putting in the main studs here. These are all ARP. So I cleaned it and I got it back into my little area and getting ready to put the main bearings in and stuff. And like I was showing you, Gary, you can see right here at the bottom of the picture where it has the 4, and at the top there. And like I said, the new Carroll Shelbys don't have that. And then once you put the all the mains on, all the 3 in the middle, they go sideways in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might be able to see that a little bit once we get the caps on. But yeah, so we're all clean. Mark told me a couple little tricks to do with the bearings to help live with oil, so I modified them on the thrust and the mains themselves just to make sure we get good oil to the crank. And
yeah.
So that worked out good.
Cameron says, man, you a crew guy? I'm hanging my outfit up after seeing all this power.
Woo, woo. Good seeing you, Cameron. I know you've been busy pushing snow, man.
Hey, Cameron uses snow for an excuse to not go to Georgia. I think it's because he didn't want to push 275 in the 3s yet.
Oh, is that what it was?
You think so? Yeah. Oh, he says you need a crew guy.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Yeah. He didn't want to push into the 3s yet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hang with him. I think he's been in the 20s. I'm just trying to get there. So.
Hey, not to get off subject, but watching X this afternoon, man, I was hoping that blue Mustang was going to make it to the final. That dude went like a 411.
Yeah.
In the round, before he got beat. He's like, dang.
Yeah, in the semis. Yeah.
Yeah. Troy says my poor little billet block doesn't even have all that. Probably be like 1,000 wheel if I'm lucky. Whatever. Yeah, 1,000 per wheel, Troy.
Yeah, he's per turbo. He's got 2.
Hey, Stephen Brown is watching. What's up, Stephen?
What's up, bud?
Yeah, Cameron says awesome looking stuff, buddy.
I appreciate it, man, for real.
Yeah, there's a crank in here.
Like I said, I just did little tips and tricks that Mark talked about and got the crank in and got it torqued down, rear main, all the plugs back in. It's all screw in, the freeze plugs and oil plugs and everything. So it's a nice piece. Like I said, this would be the nicest piece I've had. Yeah, so,
it's cool. I've seen the parts. It's really awesome.
But yeah, so
go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead. But yeah, I got the new Jessel belt and the ATI balancer, and that's Innovator's pointer, Chris Rose. So, but
Larry Hunt says block and accessories look great. Can't wait to see it in action very soon.
Oh, me too, buddy.
Yeah, Larry. Man, after listening and watching to Lights Out this weekend, we're fired up.
Get you pumped, man. Pumped up. So now I need to. That's basically it. Now I got the pistons on the rods and now I need to file the rings and then start, putting soldiers in and then we'll put the heads on and intake and.
You put soldiers in. They're permanent soldiers. They're not temporary soldiers, right?
No. These soldiers last for years. You know what I mean? Yeah, kind of like my spark plugs.
They're strong soldiers. They're not rookies.
Yeah.
They're strong.
Yeah.
Here's Stefan. He says hopped on it at the right time. Hopped on at the right time. That's going to be a great engine.
Yeah, man. Thanks for all your help. I know you and your dad do awesome stuff. This is my 3rd engine with these guys, and I've only been with these guys since 2016, and so I know you've been with them a lot longer, Gary. But yeah, I mean, knock on wood and just keep rolling. This is working out great. So.
Yep, Stefan, thanks for everything you guys do, man.
Yeah. Well, they saved me in a pinch. What was it, 2 years ago now when that valve dropped and they had.
Oh yeah.
Basically dropped off a head on Wednesday, picked it up on Friday, and we're racing Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. That was great.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's another thing. Those cylinder heads came from BES, and Mark took them apart and kind of reverse engineered them and took all the documentation of them. So in case something does happen, when I need springs and when I need valves, rockers, he can just have that in his computer and oil it up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Larry says turbo cars have lieutenant soldiers. Nitrous cars are just privates. They're a little green behind the ears.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Jim says it's going to be a nice as usual.
Thank you, buddy.
Stephen says happy to be a part of it for both of you. Man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stephen. I can't wait to see my little hot rod Suburban engine go together. So if I got a Suburban engine, what is this, like an Expedition engine?
Yeah, it's an Expedition. Yeah, before the Coyote came out. Actually, it's the Lightning. It's the Ford Lightning truck.
Oh, Lightning. Oh, man.
They had the 5.8.
So it is a race engine. Holy cow.
There you go. Oh, look at Cameron.
Cameron says, can't never let a soldier get comfortable.
There you go. Come on. Stand up straight.
They get mouthy and cocky and shit, don't they? You're out. Get out.
Get out of here.
You little loser.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'll keep working on it this week, and like I said, file the rings and start, get some more pictures for next week too. And if I'm lucky, maybe we'll see. Knock on wood, we'll see. Get it in the car and take it from there.
I can't wait to hear the fire up video.
Woo. Oh my goodness! I hope it sounds just as good as the other one. Me and Mark talked about that too. The camshaft is exactly the same as the 400, and so I hope it sounds just as good as it does.
Well, I think he did a little cheating for my camshaft because yours worked so good. I think he pretty much copied yours and made mine. We're very, very close.
We were crunching numbers, weren't we? When we got back from Freddy's, we were looking at cam cards.
It's just about the same camshaft, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
just funny. A different firing order.
Yep, that's it.
Cameron says it's like a long-term employee.
Never let him get comfortable.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's funny. Cool.
Yeah, and Stefan up there at Advanced Engine, I asked him, when they're working on my stuff, whether it's whatever kind of thing it is, do machining or some kind of something, like take pictures, video or something, and I'll share it on my YouTube page, share it here like you're doing and stuff. It's fun stuff to see and fun stuff to watch. Yeah. And that engine machine shop side, that's foreign to me.
Sure.
So it's cool to see, smart guys doing that kind of stuff. And I like seeing that. It's really cool. Yeah. And can't wait.
To add to that too, if I can take a second, Mark does not BS you. You know what I mean? He just talks to you straight. And some of the things you don't want to hear, but he tells you it, and you need to hear it. And just like this deal, we dropped this off in what did we talk about that, September or something? And and we know this is a long road. This is not these deals aren't a quick turn. And so, he would check in, we go up there and pay a little bit, and he, everything he said he was going to do, he did. And then, the stuff came in, he stayed on top of it. Really, the pistons took a little bit longer. Of course, they had to get made, then they had to go get coated, and they came back and all that, but it's just, and then when I got up there, when we went there on Friday, the whole bill, he went through it like line item by line item. Not only the parts, but the machining he did, and, clean this up and look at this. And I didn't like this. Because to be honest with you, Gary, when you're getting ready to hit that starter, you want everything to be perfect. You're not sitting here going like, oh, I'm glad you want it to be like everything ready to go. So, I mean, it's just a good feeling, and even just looking it all over with the cylinder heads and the block, and he made sure everything was true, and even on the crank and the mains, and he touched every piece, And so, I'm just, knock on wood, you hope everything goes great, but it's just, you try to, have that feeling and confidence when you're working with him. And so recommend anybody going to Advance and working with Mark. It takes a little bit, but it also takes a little bit for a good steak too. If you go into a steakhouse get right in. That's what Phil Nightingale was saying the other day. Is that like, is the food going to be good? We went out the other night. We had to stand there for 20, 25 minutes to get a table. I mean, it's the same thing. And, but
Yep.
luckily enough, I was blessed where I could still race with that other motor and just get this deal going, and keep it going. And so, but yeah, that's true. That's true, Stephen. He's no salesman.
That's a good statement. He is no salesman, but he's damn sure a wizard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Stephen is Mark's son, Mark Brown's son, Stephen.
That's right.
And both of them guys are so awesome, man. I love the shit out of both of them guys.
Yeah.
Man.
Exactly. We need to bring Stephen on and get, talk about some stuff there. And
we've talked about that a couple times. We've talked about that a couple times about, somehow sweet talk Mark and Stephen into, coming on and tell their story.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Mark's second generation there, isn't he? Didn't his dad start that deal?
Yep. Yeah. That's Stephen's grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were going in there in high school or maybe whenever, That
was about 90. It was about 1995, I think. I was trying to put a time frame to when I got hooked up with Mark, and I think it was about 95.
Yeah.
Stephen, I don't even know if Stephen was born. I've been a little tiny kid.
Yeah.
But I do remember him being a little bitty kid running around in there. I remember that.
True. That's probably, and if he's, not too far off from Mark there, he's learning as well. Maybe he'll take it over someday. Do you see what Cameron's saying? He must have saw Troy's comment up above there.
I did. Cameron says, Troy, are you finding confidence?
Yeah. Yeah. He's up there.
Yeah.
Talking about waiting on us. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll keep driving on it. Keep dropping some picture over to Gary, and we'll keep going on it and see what goes. There you go, Stephen. I was one.
I was one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, in 95. Yep, you were. Yeah, so you were that big.
Yeah. Well, he can. Hey, Charles, he sees you right here.
Yeah, Charles is in Colorado. Maybe you guys can say nice things about me to Stephen and see if they able to do some work for me.
There you go.
Give him a call, Charles.
Give him a call.
Name drop the podcast and Rodney and Gary's name, and maybe Stephen will remember. But mess with a shot,
Yeah. Yeah, and they're like I said, they're busy. It ain't like you're gonna, go in there. Even if you have all the money, you're not gonna go in there and like, hey, I need this in 2 weeks.
Well,
parts
and like
time to build and.
Yeah, my time frame of stuff, everything on mine is brand new. Every single piece. He ordered the block and crank in mid-June, and we've almost got all the pieces. Aside from push rods, we don't have a length on that, but it's just you get stuff. You buy the good parts. They just take time to get. If you got access to some parts pretty quick, they may not be real great parts. Unless you're like buying ProLine stuff and they have racks full of pistons and heads and all that stuff. But
I just your point there. I think Calivas has that advantage because he stays in that little world, so he'll buy all those cranks and I knew he had
cranks, rods.
Calling Calais direct,
Yeah.
Cool.
There's one. Charles says, I know they're busy with race season starting. Hopefully get something going into the fall. No rush on my end.
There you go.
Cool.
Not on.
That's it for that. Here's Troy. Shit, had an old guy just buy me a shot. He said, ain't no way you lose to a belly button car, like a Mustang. Hell, he even said Snow White has a hoe and you show her more than a magic show. Oh, Troy.
Cameron? Snow White?
I think so. Snow White. That's Cameron.
Man, what is that?
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
That's funny. Good stuff, Troy.
Yeah, they're at some bar in St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, let's drag.
That sounded like a joke, I walk into a bar in St. Louis. That sounds like the start of a
walk
joke.
To a bar and somebody buys me a drink.
Cool. But yeah, it was a good weekend, man. I was busy for sure. And those headers made at the same time, working with Chris Snyder there at Stainless Works. And he was able to help me get those. We talked to him at PRI and they've made it in. So Same ones I've been using before. I used stainless work before. It was on that 400-inch motor. It's just the where it bolts to the head, the spacing's a little different. So I had to get a new set.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So we got Keith Lopez, Mr. Pez, Mr. Diesel Mechanic turned race car fabricator.
That's right. Are you ready to bring him up?
I am.
All right, let's do that. And my brother from another mother, Keith Lopez.
Howdy, guys.
How's it going, Mr. Foxrod?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Heck yeah. Thanks for coming
nice
on.
Day today.
Man, no kidding. It was a nice day. Yeah. Beats this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They wouldn't even let Gary go to work on Tuesday. It was so cool.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were shut down on Tuesday, man.
My boss wouldn't let me off.
You're
boss, right? That's funny.
Get out there.
Get out there. Get to work.
Yeah.
Get to work. But cool. Thanks for coming on, man. We're going to have a good time. I know you spent or sent some pictures over to Gary. I got to preview a little bit of them, but man, I mean, you know, we kind of been racing out here together and off and on, being at the track together, and we missed each other a little bit too, because I took some time off, but no, I'm excited to hear some stories, and of course I'd use you at Foxrod Racing as well. I just got my car back from having all those upgrades put in, Pro Mod rod, dropped some weight, and you went above and beyond on that deal.
Yeah,
you went above and beyond on that deal. I still, didn't. I mean, you just thank you very much.
You're welcome. Glad to do it. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It was probably only a 5-pound weight reduction, maybe.
Oh,
6.
yeah, just 5 or 6. That's all it was.
Yeah,
that's all it was. Yeah, 5 or 6. Cool.
I'm shooting for like 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got so much crap in the back of yours, Gary. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
He said crap.
Well, I got it. Hey, you saw that Ford motor, didn't you? I got to keep up with that.
Yeah, I know. You got to. Absolutely.
Look at Babyface. He's just plugging them in.
Pro Mod carbon fiber.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Keith and I have a plan. We did the torque boxes, then we did the tugs. Yeah. Next year, we'll probably mess with a wing or something. We'll see. You got to keep him going. You got to give him a little bone.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. You got to keep that year ahead December spot.
I got to
take up.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in. That week's my week.
Oh yeah.
Keith has December job security with Rodney.
Right.
You guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too, a little bit.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Rodney drags his car out, and I'm like, I think I'll do that too.
Well, he did such a great job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can't beat him, join him, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's old Troy saying? What's Babyface saying?
Babyface Brian says, I'm just going to cut mine out. Air is lighter than carbon. There you go.
Yeah.
What it's getting down to. Yeah.
Troy says that mother better figure out carbon fiber wings by now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Well, real quick, since we're talking about Foxrod, I'm going to drop this up. If you're go to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, this is Keith's Foxrod Racing Facebook page. If you see Rodney's car on the lift and the little photo of Rodney's car and mine in the driveway, you're in the right place. So give that a like and a follow. And that's Foxrod Racing Facebook page. Do it.
Appreciate that.
Yes. And we'll bring that up again before we're done.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have a website, right? It's just a Facebook page?
Just a Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
I have a hard time keeping up with it.
No kidding.
Keith, not to put you on the spot, but the upgrades you've done with my car, you use Marty Marilette, you use Racecraft. You deal a lot with Racecraft?
Yes, I'm a dealer for Racecraft. Yep.
What other businesses you a dealer for?
10 Soldiers. I have a dealer for them. Innovators West. I'm a dealer for them. I actually have some 300 stuff, 300 6-cylinder stuff that's proprietary through them too as well. So Chris Rose is real nice to work with. Chris and Brad are.
Yeah.
10 Soldiers, Hammer Concepts. I don't have a dealership with them, but I use a lot of their stuff. I use CJ Race Cars, a lot of their parts too. So last time I checked, they didn't do dealership programs. So I sure would have loved to have, but it's all right. I still use their crap out of their parts. So yeah, I like it. They're really nice pieces. Hammer Concepts is really nice as well. They got jewelry for parts.
Yes. Every one of those that you named have really awesome stuff. And if you get on their website and snoop around, man, they got really, really nice stuff.
And then also Mel Hamilton Ford. I'm a vendor for Mel Hamilton Ford as well. And Nick is top notch as far as getting me parts ordered and whatnot. So
speaking of Nick says, "Hi, Keith. He's the man."
There you go.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah.
No, that's good. Good stuff. Good plug there.
Yeah.
So we always ask 2 traditional questions. And so the first question we always ask is, like, what was your first car in high school? You got to talk about that.
Okay.
At the very, very end, once we get done with all the picture stuff, we're going to give you a moment to, we call it a give back. Things couldn't do it without you, and you plug your businesses or family or sponsors or it's your time.
Right.
So,
okay.
Very start. What was your first car in high school?
It was a 1973 Mustang Grande. It was the coupe.
Oh, Mustang.
Yes, it was
this.
It was a white one.
Oh,
that I
okay.
started out with, and then I ended up with the 72 fast. It had a 351 Cobra Jet in it.
Oh,
and,
cool.
I was wanting that car so bad. It was at the time, my neighbor's car. Danny Lane owned it, and I had to have that car. That was like, gotta have this car. And I finally got to a loan to where I could buy that car when I was a kid in high school. And man, did I have fun with it and got in a lot of trouble with it too. But, it was a fun car. I really enjoyed it. Sure, it's gone now, but it's one of them cars that it was like, I wish I wouldn't mind having that one back. It was dark green, and it was the name of it was Polycart because it looked like Polycarts from back in the day. They were green. Yeah. So cool car. Had G50 15s on the back. They actually worked really good on the street. Yeah. So 9-inch.
What year was this, Keith?
This one here was 1985, 86.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, for a high school kid to have a car like this, it was pretty insane.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What engine, transmission, or did you already say, did I miss it?
It was a 351. It was actually they called it the 351 Cobra Jet motor. It was basically a hopped up Cleveland.
Okay.
So yeah. Good. The transmission was an automatic transmission.
C6.
C6, yeah, automatic. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Had the Holly fender cover, in the back tail, the back package tray back there, and it had all the cool stuff, from the 80s. So,
yeah.
Hey, Troy has a comment here.
Oh man, he's blowing up over here.
Troy says Keith does awesome job on Fox body stuff. I understand he has to hide the Mopar love, but when his chassis on a 67 Dart comes out and whoops your ass, just understand Fox Rod still whooped your ass.
Oh, Troy, he's on a tear tonight.
Man.
Yeah, cool.
Keep drinking, Troy. Keep drinking and talking.
This will be interesting in about an hour.
Yeah. And Stephen says Keith is a neat dude. He just needs to quit trying to do 2 JZ things with Ford 300s.
I know. Yeah, I asked Mark a question, and Stephen a question back when I dropped off that Gen 2 small block Ford here about a month ago, and we were I had an idea, and they just looked at me like, okay. So it's yeah, it'd be it'd be cool to make 2 JZ power with a 300 inline.
Oh man,
yeah,
No kidding.
yeah.
Well, we'll get to it in a little bit. I know that wagon you had it out, I think 2 years back with that 300 with a 6-cylinder.
yeah,
Just rolling out there at Arc City that day.
Yeah.
yep, yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was a high school car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sent a really cool picture. Going to roll way back to this. Tell us about this picture. This looks like a dirt track car.
That is my dad's Chevy dirt track car. That's me standing by the tire with the cat. I'm actually, I just realized that shirt I'm wearing is a drag racing shirt, and this was a Circle Track family.
Is that your brother Brian in the driver's seat?
That's my older brother in the driver's seat. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Dad's car was super badass. It was fast. His driver was really good. It was always enjoyable to watch him race or watch his driver race. Dad was the mechanic on the car. But
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Who is that standing beside you there on the fender? That
is my neighbor, Daryl Griggs.
Okay.
He lived right across the street from us. It was funny. Daryl, me, Brian, Sean, Sean, my younger brother, you all know him.
Yeah. Yep.
Our whole neighborhood, we were all the same age within a couple of years. So we were, a bunch of boys and girls, but we were super competitive. Every time we had something going on, we'd either do a skateboard race in the driveway or football or flag football or RC car, or not RC car, but Hot Wheel cars or whatever. It was super competitive. So you learn to be very competitive in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl was always there, showing up. I would be playing in the yard with my brothers or whatever, and I had some pretty good wheels on me, when I'm running or whatever or playing football. Right. But Daryl would always show up and just kick our ass. He was just so talented.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good picture.
Yeah.
So you're as a little kid, you're around your dad in this dirt car. Did you ever have a itch to want to drive a dirt track car?
I never wanted to drive a dirt
track
car.
No kidding. Wow.
No kidding. Yeah. I for some reason I didn't like the fact that we were always banging out fenders or always fixing pop tires.
Tear shit up.
It was dirt and mud everywhere. It was tearing it all up, and I was like, man, I just don't like this. But my brother at age 6 got to drive that car at the Fun Valley Raceway in Hutchinson. And I believe he had a beer in his lap. And my dad was, after the races, everybody sits around and starts drinking, whatever. But they just told my brother to get in the car and go do a lap. It was the craziest thing. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was good times back then. The amount of fun we had, after the races. I really don't know how late we were up. It was got to be 2, 3, 4 in the morning, when they all got out of there and went home. But it was good times. Good times. A lot of you see a lot of fighting, back then in the 70s. The women would fight over the men. The women would fight the men. It was crazy. It was exciting. It was exciting, but we had a lot of good times. We had a lot of good times with that car. Yep. Cool. And my older brother that wrenched on this, he actually went on to work in California. He went to work for a asphalt race team. So after he got out of high school and went up to California. Yeah. So
did he do his racing around the Hutch area?
No, my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hutch, 81 Speedway, Dodge City,
Okay.
places like that. Yeah. We're my uncles circle track racers as well. So they raced sprint cars, and they called them supers. There's some of them that are supers that they had, and yeah, a lot of pedigree in circle track racing in our family.
Cool.
So yeah, then I had to throw a wrench into it with the old drag racing thing.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen Brown has a comment here. He says, let Keith know I still want to figure out a dart and sleeve combination for the 300s. Been busy, but it's still on my list. I like making jokes, but he does some really impressive stuff.
Yes. that was the idea that I was thinking of, is that dart and sleeve. That's going to be when I'm ready for it, it'll be a few years down the road, but when I'm ready for it, I think we'll see some wicked time out of 306 when I put my ideas back together on that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to this. Who is this cat holding this little plaque?
Okay. That is my Uncle Doc. They called him Doc Pickle, and he was really popular back in Western Kansas. Him and my aunt. He raced circle track too. He was really well known around Pratt, Dodge City, Ensign, out in that area, and he had a shop in Pratt. Or Don
this comment from Don. Yeah, did you get your love of 6-cylinders from your uncle Doc Pickle?
I think I did.
Didn't Don know your uncle back in the day?
Yes, Don did know my Uncle Doc. Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. We were just talking one day, and I mentioned my uncle, and he's like, "You're talking about Doc Pickle?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Man, weird." I didn't ever know Don at all.
Small world.
But anyway, Don and Esther, his wife, they would go to Great Bend and drag race with their cars, and so yeah, my Uncle Doc and Esther would bring home trophies.
Cool.
So it was cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was neat to see his trophies. I went and visited him. He actually lived over by Ozark Raceway Park, so I went and seen him when I was up there one time racing. So showed me all his trophies. I never got to see him until then, so I took pictures. So yeah,
cool.
Pretty proud of him.
That's awesome.
He did crop dusting too. And so he was very acrobatic. So he'd take us up in like a Piper Cub or whatever and just give us some thrill rides. It was fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
He passed a couple years. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
So
did he ever get to see you do any drag racing?
He got to see pictures. I don't think he ever came to see me race. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I imagine he would have been completely digging everything you've done drag racing.
I bet. Yeah, I think he would. Yeah, he was a pretty cool uncle. Yep. Yep.
All right, what's going on here? Huh?
Oh,
what's going on here? Yeah. Okay, so I went through a Euro movement after I got back from tech school.
Are you wearing Z Cavaricci's pants there?
You guy right here.
Yeah. I slick.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, I got to that Euro movement and
what year is this?
2000. This was
really?
Man, that wasn't that long ago.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought that.
Where at? Where's this at? In
2000. In
okay.
Hutchinson. Yeah, I was. This is right before I met Jackie. Right.
Okay.
I was, as you could tell, I was.
Well, you're pretty hot right there, dude. Look at you.
Yeah, working out.
Yeah,
got all these hot rods.
Yeah. That was, that was bait, for them girls.
Oh man, that was bait.
Golly. Yeah, that is. Look at Steph.
Look at Stephen Brown. Is that 90s Dwayne Johnson? Where's the fanny pack?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about them, and I learned that they were just a lot of money invested on no return. So I knew that was going to be short-lived. So
What
yeah.
do you own the Mercedes and the Beamer in the background?
Yes, I owned all of them. Yeah, that was
Holy cow, you're a mess.
One for each.
yeah, I was back then. The Mercedes was a diesel, turbo diesel.
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And Porsche was a V8 actually, the 928, and then the Beamer was a 325, and that thing was my favorite because I used to drive back and forth to Bueller, and Bueller from Hutchinson, you got on Dutch Avenue, there's S turns, and you could really just smoke through the curves on that with that car. It was so awesome. Yeah,
this reminds me of Risky Business with Tom Cruise. You know,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Eric Summers says you were watching Miami Vice a lot, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love Risky Business. That was a cool movie. Yeah.
You had a different car for each kind of chick you wanted to pick up.
Exactly.
Yes,
right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, we're gonna get into some racing now.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's a Ranger.
Oh,
When and where was this?
the Flying Brick. That was in Kansas City at the NMRA race.
Cool.
What
Megan
year do you remember?
Gillenwater took that picture.
Who?
Megan Gillenwater took that picture. She was I think she.
Oh,
did
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Her name there. What year was this?
Oh my gosh.
Early 2000s.
You're gonna get me lying.
Gary, you're asking a question, then you're answering the question.
Early 2000s. That was before the Mustang. So, yeah, that was my first actual run at a hot rod, I guess. So that would be my first drag car, actual purpose-built street strip drag car. Yeah.
Now,
the Mustang
that's one of our questions is what do you first one you took down the track or first purpose-built car?
Yeah, that's the first purpose-built one. It was a 302 nitrous C4. Flipper built that C4 for me. That's the first time I met Flip, and man, I'll tell you what, it was a 8.8 in the rear out of an Explorer, and it was an awesome truck, and I loved it. It was a low 11-second truck.
Dang. On the juice or without?
What's that?
On the juice or no juice?
On the juice. Yeah, on the juice. It would run like high 12s, low 13s on the motor.
Okay.
Which is very respectable for a first vehicle for me, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, but
how did you do in this race?
I did really well. Actually, I got into the semifinals with it, but I was shocked, you know, being at the first NMR race, and I put Keith Coleman on the trailer first round, and he drove all the way from New Jersey to go to that race. Yeah, in a way I won, but I felt bad for the guy. You know, he had to drive all that way.
Wow,
man,
yeah,
cool truck.
Yeah, it was a fun truck. Yeah. So good truck.
What was your hot rod of choice after the truck?
It was Mustang Coupe. Yep.
Boom.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. I got. Yeah. That car was a. It was a. As you can see, it's got multiple colors. So.
Yeah.
I had taken the doors off, sent it to a friend of mine in Hutch. I'd taken the fenders off, sent it to another place. I think I painted the hood myself. It was just a number of different people helping the body work on the car. You know?
Sure.
And that's why it looked like that. But it was perfect. It was the perfect sleeper. Totally assume people would just pull up to me and thinking, oh, look at that ratty thing. And, you know.
And if it's not obvious, that's little Reagan on your arm there.
Oh, yeah. That's little Reagan. Crazy. Crazy. It's been that long ago.
What is that trophy? Did you win a race or a car show? What's happening there?
Yeah. It was the street fights. trophy.
Okay.
The Street Fights trophy. Yeah,
Anthony
there was,
Dockman deal.
yeah, I remember winning that. I took that picture. It looks like I'm look okay, but I was the worst hungover of my life that day. I went to I worked for Budweiser, and I went to one of the employee parties down the road, and we got to drinking, and they gave me some Jamaican rum, and it never mixed alcohols, by the way. But anyway, I finally made it home. I don't know what time, but I wasn't going to go race that day. Well, Chris Connell, Chris 406, everybody knows him. Him and James Watson came by and got me out of bed and said, "You're racing today." And I'm like, I can't do it now, guys. I'm just too hungover. Well, anyway, they got me up out of bed, and we loaded everything up, and went to the track. And so I just worked through it all day long, and then just started going through eliminations. The next thing I know, I'm in the final and I win. It was the craziest day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was the class called, and what was your engine combination here?
Okay, so I couldn't tell you the class. I think it was just their heads up class. They got the higher one. Anyway, the engine combination was a 351 Windsor nitrous setup, carbureted, that Mike Schill had actually gone through for me. So this is just getting to know everybody, around Wichita back then. So Flip obviously built my transmission. Had a 8.8 in it. So an 8.8 I built. Actually, Gary, you actually were part of that. That's when I think you and I first met.
Okay, I was going to say something about it. If you remember when and how we met, because this is your old house on Crestline.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is Mays and Central-ish area.
Yeah. Yeah.
I lived at the apartments at 13th and Mays, 1 mile up the road. So I was trying to think, and I think Rodney had asked me before how you and I met. And I know for a fact it was because of either you selling to Chris Rose or Chris Rose selling something to you. And I was still going back and forth to Salina every weekend.
Yeah.
I moved here in September 06. And I think it was maybe the connection happened through Wichita Racing. Remember that website?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I know one of you either there was a transaction that happened and I made a parts transportation, but that's how you and I got hooked up. And then I remember, I know it was, cause I moved to Wichita I took the job in September 06. I still had my house in Salina until November of 07.
Right.
Sometime in that time frame, like you mentioned your rear end, I remember your rear end, we worked on it in my garage in Salina. I think we cut the ends off and redid the ends. Yes, so I know that date of ish, that time frame is when you and I hooked up. And then you just lived a mile away. Which was awesome. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got it all worked out. The car's been awesome, after that.
Nice.
Yeah. So at some point you put a turbo on the car, right?
Oh man. Yeah. I went that
route. Yeah. That's you. Okay.
It was probably the year. That winter over, for the next year.
Okay. Yeah. A turbo, a blow through carburetor.
Yes.
And ethanol.
Yes. E85, which hardly anybody was using back then. It was like ground floor E85 stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that your involvement and success with that brought an invite. Tell us about the invite that happened because of that.
Oh, you're talking about the 5.0 Mustangs and invite. Yeah, we went over to St. Louis.
St. Louis.
You, Rizzo, me, Chris.
Yeah,
yeah.
And this issue covered that, and it says Mustang and Super Ford's 9-second sleeper plus 12 more corn-fed Super Stangs assault the strip in our E85 challenge. They 50 Mustang and Super Ford invited you and your car to this E85 shootout in St. Louis, and we went.
Yeah, we did. Heck yeah, I didn't want to miss that opportunity. That was fun.
So
yeah, there's the group.
Here's the crew.
yeah, the crew. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Mark Rizzo, James Watson, me, Chris Whitted holding my stuff.
Yep.
And, you can see that in the picture. And you and Reagan. Yeah.
Yep, me and Reagan.
What year was this, guys?
2009, I think we were discussing. Yeah,
we thought it was the spring of 09.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It was good times. Yeah, there I am.
That is, if you can see his right hand there holding the hose, that's pumping the E85 into the tank, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were putting in. We had to have empty tanks, and we had to put in their supplied fuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the magazine guys there, I think, to the right of me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I couldn't tell you his name.
Is that Evan Smith?
I was trying to think of the name, and I couldn't.
He was the editor back then.
Yeah.
Look at you, Gary.
Yep. Gary.
Yeah. And here's the little, and you can't, I tried to blow this up and kind of read some of this, but it was really hard to see, but got a little magazine coverage out of the deal. The car looks good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it does look good. Yeah, I love that car. Yeah, look at all that business inside that engine compartment.
Well, here's a little better picture.
Yeah, see, that's a 106 millimeter turbo. It had no business belonging in that car with a stock block. I was a guy, I was like, hey, if 88's good, let's just go with 106. That ought to be better.
That'd be better,
right?
Yeah. But that was CNS Specialties carburetor, and I got real good at learning to tune on those things. And then, boy, there's a lot of mess in there. It's amazing what the difference between that and a fuel injection system looks like. It just cleans everything up.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time with that setup. I learned a lot. You going from not knowing much about anything to that was a great learning experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went from a carburetor and nitrous to this, right?
Yes. To boost. And then I got it all done, and there was a race the next day, and I couldn't figure out how to get the thing to run. So I had a digital 7 box. And so it was a streetcar, and so I'll never forget this. It was like 11 at night, and I knew I had to show up to the track the next day, because the day that I was at the track and the car wouldn't run. There was a heads up race the next day. So 11 at night, I was like, man, you got to try something, but you can't fire it up because of the neighborhood, And so I actually drove it up on K96, and I spent the night making passes on K96, heading all the way to Yoder. I would make a pass, and And I'd be like, back then it was quarter mile. So I'd make a pass, and I'd be right up on somebody's bumper, they were way in front of me. So I'd have to slow down, and then get on the laptop and get the hammer and chisel out, because it was digital 7.
Right.
Yeah.
And figure out what I'm doing. And it finally clicked as to what was going on and why the car wasn't working. And I just didn't know how to work the dots, and the plotting and the digital 7 at the time, because it was all brand new that weekend. I had never opened up a laptop to tune one of them.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to Yoder, I had it figured out. The car was ripping really hard. And I'm like, okay, this is too hard to handle on the street now. I better go to the track. I went home, got a few hours of sleep, went to race the next day. I think I did really well. I think I got a runner up maybe or something like that. So
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott Linker's got a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this. A good question. Scott says, was E85 pretty good about being 85% back then?
Yes, because where I got the 85, it was always 88 to 98%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good back then. Smelled good too. I mean, it smells really good now. I like the smell of it, but
I do too.
Yeah.
Some people hate it, and I think they're crazy. It smells delicious.
I love it. On a blow through, you could put your hand on that intake manifold, and it just felt like icicles because of the fuel. Just creates the atomization just gets that intake so cold.
What's Charles saying?
Charles says, how long did it take to spool up that Monster 106?
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad early, to tell you the truth. Once I figured it out, I would just leave it at. I would let it be at like 40 degrees of timing till it starts to make boost, and when the boost ramped up, I had to pull it all out. You know, you can only take out 25 degrees on a digital 7-box, but the phase on the distributor is really the hard part.
Yeah, limit.
Right. Yeah, it limits it. Yeah, but it loved it, man. I tell you what, that was the baddest thing on the streets back then. That thing was just so beastly.
You have a power glide, and obviously they didn't have bump boxes back in.
No power glide. I had a power glide. I would 3-step it and foot brake it in. I had dual. By then, I had dual calipers in the rear to hold the car. And then I'd get about 4-ish pounds of boost, and then just let the car walk in. Yeah, yeah. Cool. And it kind of burned me a few times at the races, but once people figured out that I didn't have a whole lot of boost, the nitrous guys can double bowl me, and I'll be still making boost, and they'll be taking off.
Sure.
Right.
So,
yeah. Cool.
Here is a parade.
Yep. That is, I try to go every year with the car. It's Bueller Frolic. Drive the car down there with my wife and I. We try to take a hot rod or something, That's my old high school with Bueller High.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Is it on a 28 10.5? Mickey
It's
Thompson?
a slick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a cool. Slick. Drove it all the way there.
Do you remember what year this was?
Oh, I do not. I think it's 9. I think it's 2009 because they had just started, I believe, the downtown car show in Hutchinson. And I remember going there, driving the car downtown. And I think there might have been a street race that night. Might have showed up for something.
Yeah.
So,
and the car, it's been painted.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah. Joe Ferris actually commissioned him to paint that for me. He did an excellent job.
Cool.
So Wedgwood
I was
Blue.
wondering who painted it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did an excellent job. Yep. Yeah.
Jesse says, back when it was fun and we were going 9s and driving to the track, best times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Heck
2006 to 2008.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun times. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that leads in. So is it still carbureted now?
Yeah. It was at that time. Yeah. And the reason why I liked the carbureted deal, because you didn't need an intercooler.
Right.
And all the power was on tap anywhere you went. So as long as you had fuel in the car, it was ready to race. It was a cool.
I was going to ask when you went to EFI, but as I was getting ready to ask it, I know the answer.
Yeah.
So I won't ask it.
We both went there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is Mako at Kid.
Yes.
Or was it Kid or WIR back then?
Yeah. Well, I don't
WIR.
know. WIR. Okay. Yeah, WIR is Whitted and Jeff Holloway and Mike Peters, and
Mike
I don't
Peters.
know the guy that's standing there, they're back to us, but in the black shirt. I don't know him, but we're Jeff brings his scales with him at Mako, and so we got up on the scales to make sure my car was legal. So we were a little over. I always kept it a little overweight, maybe 20 to 40 pounds. I'm just figuring out weights back then too, but the car was really light, so didn't need much.
What did you have to weigh for this class?
27 or 20. No, I'm sorry. 28. It was around 28 to 2,900.
Wow.
28. It was 2870 to 2,900. I remember having to put a little lead in the back, but it wasn't much because my car was really light for what it was for a street car, you know.
Sure.
The Mako stuff was really fun. Man,
Yes, it was. It was.
So that was this is at Wichita on the scales, and there's Jeff Holloway.
Yes, sir.
This is a group of us at Tulsa. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, Shannon, Witted, me, you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's all of us. Yes. That's all of us there.
2010, right?
I believe you're right. 2010 was the major Mako year for me. Yeah.
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 You kind of kicked some ass in 2010.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty fun. Yeah. And we were all trying to decide. I believe we were all trying to decide where we add and take away timing, you know, because the track
in the Digital 7.
Yeah. Yeah. The track was actually working really good that day, and I could feel it. I went my personal best, my first pass. So.
Oh, cool.
Oh, man. What was that? What did it run at Tulsa?
529 back
Man.
to yeah. Some guys were going fours, you know, just getting in the fours back then. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember Ryan Martin going 480s. You know, he was the fastest, you know. Ryan Martin is a hatchback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is you, and in front of you is Steve Ash and his Cobra, and it looks like Chris Lovett.
Chris Lovett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beside him, it looks like Craig Ondrick, Firebird.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, that's definitely Craig's car. I love that car. I love Craig's car. That's so badass car. Yeah, he's a cool dude too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then somebody, I don't know who's filling up my tire there. It might be Mock. Brendan Mock or
Chris.
Or Chris. I don't know. It doesn't look like Chris, but yeah. Huh. Yeah. There's the car.
There's Jamie back there. See Jamie?
Yeah, see
Campbell back there.
Yeah, see Jamie. Yeah, looks like I'm under the car making a adjustment or something, or draining some fluids.
Yeah.
And seeing this car just brings back a lot of memories. Good memories.
Yeah,
it was a super cool car, man.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. This is one of my favorite photos right here.
Yeah, a Burnout and Witted and Campbell.
And Campbell, Shannon there, yeah. Can't say enough about Shannon. He's such a cool dude. So is Witted. Yeah. Those guys are some really good help, really good friends.
15 years ago. Can you believe that?
I know. It's crazy. You look back and think of all you've accomplished too, and it's like, wow, man. Must have, you know, it's amazing. Yeah.
Jim Robinson says good times.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're right, Jim. Yeah.
And I don't know, you know, we know this was Tulsa. I don't know at the time frame. There was no date, like, because some of this stuff I got off of my Facebook page, it had dates on it, like this next one. But this gets into the end of 2010.
Oh, that was a crazy
Talk
week.
about it. I'll be back.
Okay. I'll tell you how the day started out. We're getting outside Thunder Valley and it's snowing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's snowing. November 20th. It's snowing, and Steve Ash, you can see Steve Ash's car in the background. He was there. We were competing for second place.
Okay.
Mako, and I going in, I knew I was pretty optimistic, but I know like there could be a chance that I might be third. Well, just to be at that point, you know, at the end of the year during Mako, because that is a stellar class of cars, you know.
Sure.
And I was a street car. I drove my car, you know, most places. So, we're there. We get set up. We wait for the weather to break, and they're actually going to have the race. I couldn't believe they said they were going to have that race. So Larson showed up, and he was helping out Steve Ash, tuning and whatnot. And then Larson pulled up next to me because I've been following Larson for quite a while. Back when he had a blower in that car,
right?
And the reason why I got into this street drag and drive, Larson was when he showed up at Wichita. Drove that car down from Topeka to a street race with the blower. Yeah, I was just like, I was blown away. You know, I was like, can't believe that actually worked. You know,
right?
But anyway, we start out the day. I think I was when I was talking to Mike Duffy that weekend, and Mike Duffy, that guy's got so much information.
Yeah.
And can never soak it all in. And I would love to spend every day for the next month, you know, just picking his brain. But anyway, we were talking. He was telling me about, you know, things, and I was telling him where my shift points were and stuff. He told me, he says, you're shifting way too low. I was only shifting like 7, and so I turned my shift points up to 7,700 because I was like, man, that's crazy. How can I do that? And then back then, you know, to me, I was, you know, I didn't know. I was still green at all this. Well,
was that like a stock rod deal then at 7,600?
This was actually the dart block. I think finally I got into the dart block that year. Well, I finally turned it up and the car woke up, you know, and I was like, wow. Yeah. So it did really well. I hit the limiter that weekend. And I remember I had, since it was 106 millimeter turbo, I had a reducer in the inlet of the turbo. Well, it backfired because I don't know what I did to cause it backfire, missed a shift or whatever, you know, like overshifted at a neutral or whatever. But anyway, it was during qualifying. And I remember knocking that reducer out of the turbo, and it smacked up against my fender. And then it also loosened up my base plate on my carburetor. That backfire did. And so we were thrashing to get the carburetor back together and get everything beat back in place. And so we finally made some rounds. And I remember racing Chief was there, and Big Mark was there. You know, Big Mark. He was driving a car. I remember racing him in the eliminations. He was there as well. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good time. Yeah. Man, are those 28s? Those just look a little bigger.
No.
Mickey Thompson, 28 10.5s.
Man.
Yeah.
Didn't Mako allow 29s, 29.5 10.5?
I don't remember. I never could fit those.
It looked like a 315 there. You know?
It was that car wasn't mini tubbed. It was just your standard tubs, you know, with the hammer forming, you know, the clearance inside.
So was it on an 8-inch wheel?
Those were 10s, 15 by 10 wheels, and they were welds. Yep.
That tire looks massive.
It looks like 25s, Gary. 29s. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Good picture.
Yeah. Shelly and Kurt says it's amazing how it all started. Yeah. Kurt was there this day too. I remember him walking around there. I remember seeing him there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Kurt was there. And actually one of the pictures the group of pictures with this, Kurt is in one of the pictures and he's talking to Larry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Don McGinnis says, yeah, I'm so old. I remember Larson's car running 13s.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And in the background there, you see Steve Ash's Mach 1.
Yeah. Seen that. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Kendall was there that day in the orange Nova. and Mike Schill was driving the black Mustang, the Fox body.
Okay.
Black
The
Betty
Fox body?
called it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been when we left there that day, we thought we were third place in Mako. In points. Right. Yep. So we did a little bit of math.
Brian Wise said he had his blue Malibu at that race.
No kidding.
I don't remember that. Okay.
I don't either. That's too far away. I don't remember stuff.
Golly, I know.
Yeah. Did we even know you, Brian?
Hard to say.
Surely we did.
No, we did or not?
Blue. Yeah, had to, I think.
Jim Frent. So, we'd had to have known him back then. Yeah.
Surely was Jim Frent at this race? I mean,
no, I don't think he was at this one.
No. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice the date on this, hang on a second. Brian says, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Long time ago, Shelly and Kurt say, 14 and a half years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot's happened since then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch this, because the cool thing about grabbing pictures off of photos that you have already posted on Facebook, which came from my Facebook page, and that's why I've got the date on this. This was November 2010.
Yep.
Here comes 2 months later, early January 2011.
Yeah.
Somewhere between there, you decided to mini tub the car, and this is in my garage. We're going to mini tub this car.
We're going to mini tub it. Yep. Look at the tire. It looks huge.
I know it still looks like 315.
Yeah, it sure does.
January 5th. And this.
Gary, what year did you move into this house?
September 2008.
Okay. I was just looking at the background stuff because I know what you got over there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So there's January 5th. Here's February 6th. A month later, you're working on something, and you got the brake rotor off.
Brake rotor's off. Yep.
I can't believe you're in a sweatshirt. It must like it's cold in my garage. I don't believe that.
I bet you we were getting ready to tear it apart. Tear the rear end of it so we can start cutting tubs.
Yeah. February 6th. And I posted these on Facebook. That's why there's a date. But this one didn't have a date, but it's all in that. You got the air hose, you're grinding or cutting on something. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I knew I wanted to ask you this. We know this is early 2011.
Yes.
2011, September 2011, Drag Week started in Topeka, right?
Yes,
you remember,
2011, yeah.
You remember when you and I went over there? So we went there twice. We went there the day they left, and we went back the day of the awards ceremony. So that was September. Raced in November at Noble. It's in my garage, January of 11. Had you decided at that point, because somewhere along this, and I don't remember when, you said we're going to do Drag Week.
Yes,
in
I remember
2012.
that.
Okay, or 2011. January.
We were trying to do it in 11 because everything was there. I mean, all we had to do was just mini tub it,
Yeah. Because I remember February 11.
So you're saying in September is when the race is, and you got to get the job done? Is that what you're saying, Gary?
Yeah. Drag Week used to be the only one, and it was in September every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
First weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of important because, and you'll see in a little bit, but This is the next picture I got. That's that Brad Brand's car.
Brad Brand's car. That was my dream car right there. That thing was so cool. Super Street Outlaw Mustang, and it was low. Man, it was like sexy.
That's a cool car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I couldn't believe it. I walked around the corner, saw it there, and I was like, "No way!"
Like, what race? Where's this at? What race is this?
That's at Tulsa. He was at Tulsa racing. Yeah.
Oh, maybe a throwdown or something.
Yeah, I think it might have been the throwdown. Yeah, wearing a Neil Chance Racing shirt there.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next is you put on a true street shootout. Actually, 2 of them. This was the first one.
Yes.
April 30th, 2011. And man, those races were a huge hit.
They were crazy. Yeah.
So is your car done at this point? Because in January it was in his garage.
So I do not think April of 2011.
No.
Yeah, it was done.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Did it race in this?
Larry was there. Yes, I've seen video of it racing in this. Somebody had a video up. Yep. I raced in this one. Yep.
Yeah, and that's when Jim still owned the Camaro that Brian used to own right there. And I think that deal says like 6-time 28 and a half race winner in 2010, I think is what it said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 Larry came in and cleaned the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Brian says met most of you guys June 2009, True Street.
Yep. Yep.
So April 30th is when this race was. Do you remember what happened in May where your car was at? May 22nd, actually.
May was the car was up getting a color change in Joplin in May. And that's the last time that car was, my car right then.
Yep.
Tornado.
Everything changed. Everything about your racing program changed that day.
Yeah. Yeah. It threw me for a loop. I tell you, building fell on top of it. Tim and Robert Beasley did their best to get the car back together in a timely manner for me. They put a new body on it and everything, and they repainted it for me. I couldn't have done it myself. That they did some miracle work, and the car turned out beautiful when it came back.
Cool.
Yeah, it was dark shadow gray back then.
Yep.
And then we had already, when it came home, we had already started on the wagon. We were already motivated on that wagon. So
so that's the last race before the tornado. Is that what you're showing here?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, this race was April 30th, 2011. The tornado in Joplin that messed up the car was May 22nd, 2011. And so from May 22nd to July 11th, this is the day. This is the day we pushed it into my garage.
Yep.
So somewhere in there, you picked a wagon for your next victim as a race car.
I gotta thank Mark Walton for that. He's like, "You got a car?" I was like, "No," and he goes, "I got a wagon at my house," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And so I went over to look at it. Yeah.
Why did you get this? Is the Mustang done at this point? Because you said someone fixed it.
We were waiting on the Mustang to get fixed
at
the time, and I wanted to go racing. And
well, we wanted to do drag week.
Yes. We were very optimistic.
In September, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Following.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Mark Walton actually donated that car to me. Yeah. Yeah. So Yeah. It looks good there.
It's got an engine sitting in it.
Yeah.
It's got a main hoop, and I see at least one down bar.
Yeah, see one forward bar, or yeah.
It's like it has some coilovers on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the engine out of the coupe, right?
Yes, that's the engine out of the coupe with those valve covers. I'll never forget those. Those big trip flows. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
There's some more bars in it.
Yeah.
I would have threw in some more pictures, but we just didn't have room.
Right. Yeah. Them tubs are still in it.
Yeah, so it took a while to get, into a running state, and then we worked some really late, long hours.
We did. I don't know how we did that.
Oh, I couldn't do it now. I promise you, I could not.
I couldn't either. Yeah, I really, looking back, I really like, how did I come up with the money to actually build that car? It's like, it's like, wow, just things happen, you work things out when you want them that bad.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think we were working 11s at work during that summer. So we was working on this thing till like midnight, and I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And,
I was on call, so if I had to leave, I had to go work on a truck or something. Yeah,
that was rough.
It was rough. Yeah. Oh well, it was a pretty awesome deal though. Yeah.
Then there's another True Street shootout.
Yep.
May 5th.
Is this a 2012?
I think this was either. We know the other one was 11 because the year says it. I don't know if this was 2010 the year before or 2012 the year after.
So did you guys make the September race or?
No, we didn't.
Not until 2012.
I remember Shannon. Yeah, I remember Shannon Campbell coming in the garage. In your garage, and we were working on it. And he looked at us and he goes, "You're not going to make it."
Yeah.
He deflated my balloon, but
man,
we realized it too, but we backed off a little bit after that. So
sure,
yeah, and that gives some time for like the spring of 12 to do some testing and stuff.
Yeah, that was a good year. Yeah.
Raced it a little bit through the summer of 12, getting ready for.
This might have been the early spring of 12. This race, because I remember racing my wagon, and Larson, you drove the car, and Larson, you raced Larson.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. So late September rolls around, and there's the car painted. And this is the day that we left. Tiffany dropped me off at your place. Kennedy is crying her eyeballs out because I'm leaving for a week.
There's some little. Little.
Casey was, 12, 10, 11. He was like a year and a half old. He was born in 10. So he was about 2.5.
Yeah.
And this is the day that we left to go to Tulsa for Drag Week 2012.
Man. Yeah.
Do you remember what the car had ran yet at that point in the summer of 12 before we went to Drag Week?
I remember it went like a 8 in the quarter. It went like 8s, and I know we were going over 160.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking too, like it had been some mid 8s, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Cool.
We weren't pushing it either. It was just pretty simple stuff.
We didn't know nothing back then.
With the blow through then, or
it was fuel injected.
Okay.
Yeah, Gary and I, we went and got Holly Dominator off the. I mean, literally when Holly came out, we literally bought them right out. We got the first gen ECUs.
Right on.
Yeah.
Don McGinnis says Drag Week 2012 was when I first met you all. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, I remember that day. I remember we were like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have like 3 rolling drag week pictures. This was September 12th. We're on the side of the road. I know you remember this.
Oh man, you know the story
fuel pump.
leading up to this. Remember that?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so we're leaving. We're leaving the track, and it was Shreveport, Louisiana. No Problem Raceway, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, we're leaving the track. We're heading down the road, and then I was like, we need fuel, and we tried to find a fuel station, and we couldn't find anything, so we had to dump race gas. We were running C16 back then. We had to have race gas in the car to make it to the gas station down the road. Well, we're driving along. We got everything filled up. We're driving along, and then I'm gawking around, looking. We come over this hill, and there's this crazy son of a gun right in front of us, running across the street right in front of us, and lays down. He's got bottles of water in his hand, and it was Larry Larson. Just jumps right in front of me. He wouldn't have dared done that because my foot wasn't even near the brake pedal, and it took me a few seconds to find it because my brake pedal was far left on that car, and I panicked, and I think, oh, I'm gonna be the guy that kills Larry Larson. Larry likes to joke. He likes to joke, He's a fun guy, but yeah, I'll never forget that. And we filled up with fuel, and then we left. And we left after the gas station. We went down the road, and that's when the pump decided to say, I'm done.
Yep.
So we swapped it.
And it was hot that summer and that week in September, and where we was coming down this road, there was a long row of trees, and you can see the shade. Yeah. There couldn't have been a better place to have to stop and work on the car.
Yes.
And in the shade right there. So
that was nice. And I believe it was there was a lot of carnage on that road too, because I remember some other guys being broke down and along the way. We were always seeing all kinds of people broke down.
That's day. Part of it though, right? I mean, basically working on your car all week.
Yeah. And Rodney, those are 315s on the back of that car.
I see you. Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, so you got me there.
Yeah.
315s was the highway driving tire.
You bet.
And the 275 radials was on the roof until we lost one. That's Barry Peters. Barry says, "Did you ever find that tire and wheel?"
No. Somebody in Arkansas has it up on a fence post somewhere.
Yeah.
What's the story with that? You just left a post and you stopped at the next one and you're missing the tire and wheel at this point, or?
I'm gonna let Gary take over on that one.
I've got a picture, and I didn't discover this picture until just a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We stopped at a checkpoint and it was dark, and Keith, the driver, has to take a picture at the checkpoint and then show it to the hot rod people the next day to prove that you met the checkpoint. Well, I always took a picture also as a backup, just in case something happens. We for sure had the picture. So we get the picture. We're at this checkpoint. We go up the road. We fill up with gas. And from there, this is in Arkansas. We jump on interstate in Arkansas, and I don't know how many gallons that gas tank was. For the entire gas tank full of fuel that it took until we needed gas again, Keith was ripping down interstate. I don't remember how fast he was going, but it was the entire tank of fuel and did not stop until we needed fuel again. When we pulled over to get fuel, we pull up to the gas station. I don't even know what time it was. It was dark. Keith was driving. Obviously, I was the passenger side. We get out. Keith goes to walk around to go inside to the store to use the restroom. Pop the hatch. The fuel tank is back there. So I'm pumping gas in it. And I look on the roof, and there's only one tire up there. And we had two. And so there was two tires there. You can see in there, there's two fuel. There's a purple fuel jug and a blue fuel jug. We had stuff tied down up there. And I walk over to the side of the car and I look, and I could not believe what I saw, that there was only one tire on that roof, meaning we're missing one.
Yeah.
And man, I finished pumping the gas and I walk in the store. I open the door of the store, or the convenience, or the gas station, whatever. And Keith is in line with his stuff that he bought. And I'm looking at him, and I'm sure I had a, oh shit, look on my face. And he knew something was up.
Right. Yeah,
And,
did.
oh,
So does
man.
the strap come loose or what?
Yes. Hey, so I mentioned taking the picture at the checkpoint. I didn't notice it till this was 2012. I just noticed a few years ago. I think Barry Peter made a comment on Facebook way back a few years ago about that. I went back in my pictures on Facebook because I took a picture. In that picture, you can see the orange strap is like laying up on the roof. It's not like laid over stuff the way it should be. It was just kind of laying there, and we didn't even notice it. So we made that. We drove that whole tank of gas at interstate speed, and yeah, it was. I think, didn't a cop pull in there, and we told the cop, because we was kind of worried that this thing comes off the roof at 80 mile an hour.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna.
We were doing 80. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna hit it. And was there a crash? Did somebody get hurt? So this cop, he radios and asks, all the directions if anything had happened, and there was nothing. So
yeah,
we had
at that speed, and the tire come off of that probably the thing that wheel combo probably went in the orbit. Yeah,
we was worried it would have went across the median and met oncoming traffic.
Yeah, dude,
we have no idea where it went. And that was a Champion beadlock wheel with a 275. They're kind of heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see where the tire had skidded down the side of the car. It left a skid mark.
Oh, coming off. You didn't hear it?
Oh,
Yeah.
We didn't hear or see anything.
It was that highway was so rough, and it was a construction zone the whole way. You remember that, Gary? There was real narrow. Yeah.
Wow.
So
we'd been running the car on the 275s up to that point. So after that, we had to race on the 315s. So that made a tune-up change, didn't it?
Right.
I had no idea what to do. I was told put more power in it on the hit. So I put some more boost in it and some RPM, and guess what? It picked up.
It worked.
It worked good. It's like, shit, we should have started out with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, car loved it. So yeah, we were so scared about turning it up and scared about everything we were doing. We didn't even want to change the air fuel ratio on the drives, because if we mess something up, we're going to be stuck on the side of the road for hours on end. And so it was a 12.0 air fuel ratio, I believe. And we weren't getting very good gas mileage, maybe 10 to 12 miles per gallon at the time. And then, so we were a couple scared newbies, that.
For sure.
Yeah. So there
we
are.
Memphis.
Yeah, that's Memphis. Remember that drive in from that night? We had a police car in front of us, one on each side of the car, one on the back of us, escorting us through town.
West side of Memphis.
West side of Memphis. We're heading to Littleton. Is that the name of the town? Was that Littleton or something like that?
Was it Milton?
Milton. Yeah, Milton. Yeah. That's Jeff Lutz's car in front of me, and it was raining that night. Yeah. So.
And it looks like you just have one tire, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we were trying to figure out what's going to happen that night, So by that time we were wiped out. We didn't have hardly any energy at all in us.
Yeah.
Middleton.
Middleton.
That was that.
Yeah, there you go. Middleton. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we got to go to Memphis. I'm glad we got to experience it before they shut it all down. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a cool place.
that's a great track.
yeah, it
Yep.
is. It is. Yeah. I got the 5.0. I can see I got the 5.0 badge on the little back door window. 5.0
Yep,
Mustang.
I have a Mustang.
Yeah,
Yep.
they asked me if they want to put it on there, and I was like, yeah, I'd love it. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we made it back to Tulsa. Thursday night. I remember we came from the south to go north to Owasso. So coming from the south on the 169 or whatever that is, that goes past the track, we're going, and I think it was raining even that Thursday night. But
it was pouring. Remember Prospero wiping out?
Yes. Yeah. But we drive past the track, and it's right there. It's like, man, we made it.
Yeah.
We got to drive from the motel back to the track, but we made this. All we got to do is go to the motel. We was Barry Peter shared his room with us, and what a cool shot. We had a tasty beverage Barry had for us, and we celebrated taking it back to the motel.
You know what those drinks were?
I don't remember.
You weren't a drinker back then either.
No,
that was a 7-7 that Barry had made.
Okay.
I'll never forget that. Yeah, Victor drink. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was very cool hosting us. Yeah.
Victory drink.
I remember being so puckered up on that drive, from Salisaw all the way to Tulsa because of the rain.
Yeah, rain was that.
Well, yeah, I can't really see. That was
rain and radio aren't good.
No. We went over a bridge, a really rough bridge that had a lot of crown in it and potholes. And I remember the car floating on that bridge. And I was like, I felt like I was in a boat, I was like, oh, we're almost there. Now we're going to wipe out. But we finally made it. So, yeah, that was a good time there. Yeah.
What? I guess we're going to find out here in a second. You was in Super Street Power Rider.
Yes.
So you was also awarded this in your hand. You was the quickest Ford-powered Ford in 2012, and that's what that plaque is you're holding.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. This is the award ceremony Friday night after the event. I took this picture, and you look like you've been up for a week racing.
It was rough. Yeah. Innovators West hat I had on. I wish I had another one of those. Yeah. Yeah. So, that was a rough week. I remember being so wiped out that week. We, no experience doing drag week, no experience at all, we were just flying by the seat of our pants. And I think we used every ounce of energy we had to do that week.
Yep. I remember did we come home? We came home Saturday and Friday night. Did we come home Friday night?
The night after the awards ceremony.
Okay. And I remember thinking that was stupid. I don't ever want to do this again.
Yeah, but after you thought it was stupid because I fell asleep at the wheel on an off ramp. 2 miles from my house
at 53rd Street.
Yeah, you were like, I think you woke me up. I think
I did.
Cadillac or something like
you
that.
You were getting ready to smash a Cadillac.
Yeah, I remember hitting the brakes, and I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. So, but yeah, we never did that again. Never left that. We stayed the extra night. So,
and then back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I was whipped. But about Thursday rolled around, and it's like, man, I'm ready to do this again. We're stupid.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was like a full week of adrenaline. Yeah.
It was.
It's not for everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Tiffany Pickle says, you looked so young, cousin.
Yep. Yeah.
And here is so you got third place in Super Street Power Rider.
Yes.
Do you remember what your average was?
8:30. I remember I had a bad day, and I remember it was 8:34, something like that was my average.
Yeah. And that battle for first and second was between Rick Prospero and Tim Reed.
Tim Reed, yeah. The Pinto and the wagon. Yeah.
So you're 830 something. So when I went on drag week in 2014, your average from 12 would have won 14.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. That's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Because I got second place. Eric Yost won, and his average was I think an 840 something.
Wow.
And it's like, man, your average would have won in 14.
Yeah, that's irritating. But I mean, for our first time to get third in Super Street Power Adder for what we did in that short amount of time, I think that was a win in itself. You know? Yeah.
Just
Sounds
making
like
it.
eating is just completing is a win.
Oh yeah. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, and then we finished out the week with an 817 and 171. That was awesome. I was like, where did that come from? But that was cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's your third place 2012 plaque and the quickest forward from 2012. Yeah.
And the Mako plaque underneath there.
Mako from 10.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, sorry. We went back to drag week in 2013.
Yes, we did.
This is Bowling Green. This is the Tech. And man, do you remember how hot it was? It was awful.
It was 100% humidity in Tennessee.
Woo.
It was bad. Really, it was awful.
It was bad. I'll never forget that week. Yeah.
So that was Tech. This is, I don't remember if this is like the first day or Friday. There were some mechanical issues.
Oh, we smoked, I don't know how many transmissions. We were having tranny troubles that year.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know what it was, but a case saved it, or a case fixed it. A new case, or an aftermarket case. I think it just needed more fluid, in the circuits. And I think that aftermarket case had better circuits, bigger circuits.
Oh,
power. Because remember we had twin turbos on it this time.
Yeah.
A lot more power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it did it break testing or the first day? I forget, but we ended up putting it on the trailer. What's that?
It broke first day.
Yeah. We put it on the trailer, parked it out in the impound, and then unhooked the trailer and just jumped in your work truck, and we drove the whole route and hung out the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Dave, and was it the Shore brothers? Is it Dave and Jack?
Yeah, Jack Shore.
Right.
Yeah, Dave Shore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody hooked them up with you on Friday.
Yeah. I think it might have been Jake.
Okay.
That told him. Yeah. I remember going down to TCI get to get parts.
Yeah. When we were at Memphis.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Barry and I stayed there at the track, and you took off and drove to was they in Mississippi somewhere not too far from Memphis?
Yeah. Yeah, not too far.
Yeah, TCI's in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you drove down there and bought some stuff and came back.
Olive Branch.
Yeah.
Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Is it right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is basically
what track is right there too.
What's that?
Is that Holly Springs? That's right there too.
Mississippi. Oh, might be.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember walking. I remember seeing the Holly Springs exit. So I thought.
Yeah. No, you're right. It is.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but we got it back together and we busted off a low 8 at 177.
Yeah.
Smoked the transmission again. I was like, okay, done. We're gonna redo this whole program. So that's when I fixed it.
Man.
Yeah. Flip got me squared away.
Good.
So that was 2013. Then a period of time went by, and then you go with Gavin in the Cougar.
Yeah. That was an awesome week, drag week. Yep. Gavin's car, his goal, he's like, Keith, you think we can go mid-8s all week? I was like, yeah, it's a Pro Charge combo, F1X. And I told him, yeah, we can do it. Let's do it. And so we went and succeeded. But right here, we lost a valve spring. And we lost a valve spring. And then I think he was on his phone looking for somebody to bring him some valve springs. And I think somebody did get a hold of some springs. So we were there for quite a few hours. But you couldn't have picked a better place. The shade. That weather was gorgeous. It was outside Byron, Illinois. The Byron drag strip, as we had just left there, and then just plumb gorgeous. And we were on a hill, so we saw everybody drive by, all the cool cars and whatnot, while we were waiting on parts. And we tore everything apart, and then everything apart. I actually ended up getting a keeper flung out. And poked me in the forehead. I was bleeding like a stuck pig. For them keepers come flying off. Anyway, everybody was looking for it, and I was like, we tried for hours, nobody could find it. So luckily we had more keepers coming. So, but we got together. Car got back together, and on down the road, and we got to achieve our goal, and that's when Gavin put the thing on the bumper at Cordova. That was a cool picture.
Yeah.
I forgot to tighten the struts up on the front after we got back.
Is that the last year that Gavin's car has ran?
It probably has. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Moving on. This was our first. Well, this was second. You and I's second trip to PRI. Just a kind of a funny picture. We're having a good time. This is the Total Seal booth when they had their party, after hour party, and just a good time, man.
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends.
Oh yeah, PRI is always a good time.
Yeah. There's Paul and you and Gavin and me. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Finnegan being in the booth, and Mark and all the other guys too. That was a pretty good time. Bud Lights for everyone. I remember that.
Yep. You can see him back there on that table.
Yeah.
They're correcting you on that. 2017 looks like.
Oh,
with Gavin. 15?
17.
17, yeah.
Gavin did race week 17 in the Cougar. Okay.
Okay, 17. Yeah. He would know.
That Gavin ran race with the Cougar. Yeah. Rocky Mountain Race Week. Has he? Oh man. Where'd you go, Keith? He's got this little white swirl. Oh no.
Swirl, Mark.
Come back. That he's been pretty solid.
Yeah. Man, you guys look so young there.
I know. I don't remember what year. So this.
I was afraid to ask you that. What year this was?
Yeah. 14. I think this was like 16 maybe, because Keith and I went, just him and I. He's completely out. Him and I went together. And then the next year is when Paul and Gavin came along.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas Internet. Yeah. Keith got beamed up.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can get back in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great picture.
Yeah, that's a fun time. Yeah, the wagon underwent a complete makeover.
So did the 4i end up just going down the road or something?
That's the car. Okay, so when he got it back from the paint shop from the Beasleys in Joplin, he sold it to Jesse Mitchell. So anybody that sees Jesse Mitchell, that's the car. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now. And actually, I knew that. So, but yeah, it just the whole story. You were kind of coming up like with the pictures, and then it's like, then here's a wagon. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that's where the car. Yeah. Just left the car hanging.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
knew about the tornado deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard that, through the channels and stuff. And so that was a bad deal there. Joplin, man, hit hard there in Joplin.
Yeah. I seen on Facebook, I saw today that they're advertising on Netflix is going to have a tornado show about the Joplin tornado.
Yeah.
And it's coming out sometime in March. So
cool.
Not that matters or anything, but
sure,
it was a pretty devastating situation.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Don McGinnis says 2017 Keith won the 14-0 class at Rocky Mountain Race Week in the Comet and kicked my ass.
That's when he brought Reagan, I thought, right?
Yeah.
You got a picture of that?
I do. Tiffany Pickle says, which one of his cars was in the shop in Joplin when it got hit with the tornado? Tiffany, I'll give you a picture here. Dun, dun, dun. Roll up here. Find a good picture. Tiffany, it was this car. It was this coupe, this Mustang coupe that was in the tornado. Yeah. I don't remember. The whole body got replaced. Or something. I don't remember, but yeah, it had a lot of, and I think their building was made of blocks, like a block building. So it had beams and blocks and that kind of stuff that came down. It was, it didn't have wood coming down on it. It had like blocks and beams and stuff hitting it. So it was pretty bad. Yeah. I remember that phone call and he was pretty devastated. He called and told me about it. And he was like on the way down there to check it out. And yeah, it was pretty devastating to his racing operation.
Oh yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah, there's Charles releasing a tornado documentary in March. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Oh, there he is.
I'm back.
You're back. There you are.
Back. I don't know what happened. It just went. Everything just dropped out.
Yep. Elon Musk beamed you up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
Cool.
Let me find out where we was at. Okay, we was digging into. Let me find it. Back up here. Okay. The wagon got a makeover. And here we are at at North Star Denton in late 2018.
Yeah.
And it's had a giant makeover.
Yeah.
It did.
Looks good like that.
Yeah. 183s, small block Ford, Yates headed deal, Yates headed setup, 434 cubic inches. Brad Emscheid painted the car.
Yep. Paints Unlimited in Salina.
Yeah. Yep. Painted the car, man. It's a sexy car. And then got a new nose on the front of the car. Tried out that snow plow.
Yeah.
The fuel, I was still running 85. I was doing Renegade, and the car had a whole different feel to it though when I changed that combo out, and it really showed. So it showed a lot of promise before the winter hit. I was like, man, this thing's flying. So
what did it run in Denton? Do you remember what it ran?
It didn't go in the fours just yet. I think we made one pass with we made one pass with no CO2, and then we made a second pass, and I think it went like a 540 on an aborted run because I only went down because this was all new combos because I went down and lifted early. And then we made a third pass, and I think that's when the rod exited the chat.
Oh, yes. Do you remember why you made a pass without CO2? Who would do that? What kind of racer are you?
I was going to ask if that was an option.
I think my crew guy got stuck to the track prep and just couldn't reach it.
Is that right?
No, it was actually in the staging lanes because Keith was in the car. He was tied in, helmet on, and I was checking tires. While I was kneeled down checking the driver's side tire, this is what I heard. Blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah. I thought he's asking me about the tires. And I said, yeah. So he gets to oh man, he gets up, does the burnout, takes the tree. When he leaves, it goes, you can hear when a car isn't in boost, and it goes, blah. And I thought, oh man, he was asking me if I turned on the CO2 bottle. He wasn't asking about the tires.
Yeah, sure enough.
And I was like, man, I'm fired. But that's exactly what it was. It was, did you turn on the CO2? Well, he wasn't concerned about the tires.
Yeah.
But with the helmet on and him in the car and I'm back there, he said something and I assumed that's what he asked. And
Sure.
I was wrong.
Sure.
Yeah. And in this makeover, it had Kirky seats in it for a long time. He ended up putting this bench seat back in.
That looks cool.
It looked pretty cool. Yeah, it looked really cool. Yeah. This Comet comes along and like like Don McGinnis said, 2017, right?
Yep.
Him and Reagan go on Rocky Mountain Race Week, and he wins the 14-0 class.
That's awesome.
In Rocky Mountain Race Week. Yeah, had a tough week. He had to do all the strategic stuff to make that work out, and it worked out.
Cool.
And I went somewhere. I met him. I hooked up with him, I think, when they came to Great Bend.
Okay.
And then rode with him the rest of the way.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I was kind of the third wheel.
Sure.
Yeah. Hope he comes back here in a little bit. This is Joe Barry on the right and his wife, Michelle, in the black shirt with the yellow writing. They're from Colorado Springs. And the kid behind him there is Joey. That's their son.
Okay.
And obviously there's Gavin and Reagan and Keith there. And I see him there. There he is.
Yep.
Plug it back in.
What's going on here? All right. There's the man in the hour right there. There's Joe Barry, Michelle,
Joe Barry,
Reagan, Gavin. Yeah.
So this is 17, right? This is when you won 14-0.
Yeah.
I
Reagan,
popped that picture up. You and Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan's little Mercury Comet there.
Yep. And the Barrys. Yep.
Yeah. Man, I can't say enough about those people right there. They're the best people in the world. Barrys.
Yep. They are awesome.
Yep.
I wish they lived closer.
I do too. They're only 5 hours away. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gavin's car is in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We were in Morrison, Colorado. Yep, right there. The hotel was just to the left of us right there. I remember that one. Yeah. That was Rocky Mountain Race Week.
17, right? Don said 17.
Yeah.
Oh man, 8 years ago. Woo.
I know, time flies. Yeah.
Then we get into Armageddon 2019. You remember this?
Outlaw Armageddon.
Guy Kelly and Lizzie.
Yep. Yeah, I remember after the drivers' meeting, I think we met up with him, said hi.
Yep. Up on the starting line.
Yeah.
I smacked Guy on the ass in this picture.
You did?
I did. I smacked him on the ass.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but dang. Yeah.
This was a great race.
That was awesome. That was a crazy race. I should do a play-by-play on this one. It was that's Derek Kelly in the other lane right there.
Yep.
Anyway, this was this was small tire, I think, the small tire class.
Yeah.
Anyway, I knew we had him, and everybody, I didn't really know Derek Kelly back then either. Everybody says, "Oh, he's the fastest here. You're going to get your ass handed to you." And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to figure this out and turn it up. And I told Gary, I said, I turned it up everywhere, and then I added 11 pounds on the scramble, and we'll see what happens. And then get up there. I'm really nervous. I don't know why I was so nervous on this race. I think everybody was just hyping him up, or just telling me that you're gonna get tore up. Well, anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in this. Probably gonna lose, and we're on pro radials, by the way, drag radials. We did low pressure on them. It was like you can see the wrinkles in the tires if you look closely. There was like 9 to 10 pounds, I think, we were running on those tires. But anyway, I actually cut a good light. It was a flashlight start while he was starting everybody off, and cut a good light. And I was right there with him, and I'm thinking, oh man, this is cool. So I'm going to start seeing him move, start creeping up on me. And he was starting to, and then I was like, well, crap, let's see if the car will take the button. And so I hit the scramble, and it took it. Well, the car started making peak torque on the scramble, and the whole wagon was just shaking. It was basically trying to break the tires loose the whole way down the track. It was just shaking, just rattling. And I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna break tires loose eventually, but they never broke loose, so it stayed, and then it finally hooked and took off. And I remember seeing him at the corner of my eye, but I didn't know exactly where he was at because I was paying more attention about the track because it was a no prep race, and I was like, this car's going to come unglued somewhere down the line. Well, it never did. We had quite a bit of weight in the back. We had what did we put back here?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was enough. But anyway, I didn't know if I won or lost when we got to the end, and I get out and put my chute up. My phone is just blowing up, and say, well, something must have happened. So yeah, that was an epic race. Just by a fender, but still, a win is a win.
Win.
Yeah, I was pretty humble about it. I was pretty excited. I met Lance Niggy that week too. You remember?
Yep.
That was the first time.
He was pitted right across from us.
Yeah. So he's a cool dude too. So yeah. So epic year that year with that car, and then we get to go back this year and go race in a coupe.
Sweet.
Yep.
This gets into.
Yeah. There you go.
A different iteration of the wagon.
Yes. That's how the whole 6-cylinder program started is because basically sacrificing everything to start this chassis business. I didn't have any money to build I sold the motor to buy tooling, sold the small block Ford and the turbos to buy tooling so I can get my business going. And I still wanted to race. So I really liked the 6-cylinder in the truck. And so I pretty much built what I thought would work in a 306 in the wagon, and I made it fit, and didn't think that was possible, but as you see, it works, and made it work, and it runs really good. It was an 80 millimeter turbo, stock crank. I had stock rods and in it at one time, and it went tins, tie tins with stock rods, stock crank, TRW, just basic TRW out of the box pistons for these things. And I just ran fuel injection on it, what I thought would work, and LS coils, and lo and behold, it hauls ass. It makes a lot of power. It went 930s, my first really, first time out pushing it really hard, and it loved it. And and the car ain't light, so I thought it'd be cool to put in something light, like a Pinto or something, to see how fast I could really make one go. But that's down the road, down the road. Yeah.
What year did you leave House of Schwann and start your Fox Rod racing business?
2020, the end of 2020. I gave notice in October of 2019.
Okay. So January 2020.
Yeah.
God, 5 years already.
I know, it's nuts,
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay. I threw in a few pictures of you and you and I at the racetrack. This is Summer Nationals 2018. You, me, and Kennedy.
Yeah.
We had
That's
a really good. Yeah, we had a really good outing. We ended
Yes.
up in the winner's circle. That was late July 2018. Drove the car to the track, pulled the little trailer, had the ice chest, had my bicycle in the back. Yeah.
You're my hero.
Everything worked out.
That's what I used to do, drive it to the track.
Yeah, you were the first to do it.
Yeah.
Everything, I didn't do anything spectacular. I just had a better day than the guys I was racing. And it worked out. And then, Kennedy was with us there all day. And then later at night, when I told Tiffany, I said, when I thought I could win this, I was at a point where I thought I could win, and she ends up driving out and brings Casey out.
Yes.
So those two were there for the win.
That's a special moment there.
I got that big picture up on my wall up here.
Yeah, that's a cool day. Yeah.
And here we are, September 11th, 2022. This was on a Sunday. We got rained out on Saturday, and this was a second chance win. I think I beat Jesse Mitchell on the second chance. I don't remember, but either way, there we are again. This was Arc City. This was like a week later, September 24th. I always thought this was a cool picture. You're up there looking at it, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna send it.
Gonna send it. Yep.
We're gonna hold the car down. We don't want to let it go just yet.
Yep. There's Barry Peter back there, and Troy and
Justin to the right. Yeah.
Mercury. Yep.
Yeah.
This was actually the last time I raced, late September 2022.
Oh my gosh, that's stinking valve.
Man, everything I've done has been nothing but trouble since then.
I'll build a new motor.
Dealing with RFD and Dan Shunek. What a mess.
Yep.
You also got involved with Rodney along the way.
Yeah. That's been fun.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Been fun. Look at the black wheels on there. Huh? Nice.
Ew.
Yeah. That's a screaming motor there, boy.
Yeah.
I always love the sound of your car when you get up there on the brake and bump in. It just sounds like it's just, I want to go.
Let's go.
It's ready to,
let's go.
Ready to eat. Man. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I love having you around at the racetrack, and I love being with you when you're racing. I love it when you're with me racing. That's why I put them pictures in there.
Yeah, we kind of go well together. I mean, we're kind of fluid on our work and everything.
Yes,
it works out. Yeah.
I can't wait to get back to that again.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully this year.
Yeah. And Rodney, if obviously I'm not racing, my car is whatever, and you're not, so we'll go help Rodney, and that's a lot of fun helping out other people too.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. Yeah.
Here's Nick Roberts' car, the Devil's Glue car. You built this?
Built that car. Yep. Yeah, that was a cool build. That was one of my first builds. One of the first builds when I first opened up shop. Yeah,
like a complete deal.
Yeah, and I wanted it. Yeah, full chassis. I wanted it to be special. All the dreams and the ideas that I had over the years about building a car, I put into his car, which I think turned out awesome. Full interior, true street car, but yet it can go small tire racing. It's light too. I did all kinds of work to make that car light with the interior. Yeah.
Got the back seat in it, made all that work.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like the back cushion is trimmed for the tubs. It all fits.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Even that lower cushion's trimmed for the tub, and it all fits in there nice. Yeah. Yep. And the only way the interior quarter panels went in that car was with the roof was off. They would not You can't get them in or out now.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, they had to squeeze in there. Everything, all the tubing, as you can see, the tubing is super tight in the car.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Here's one of the billet boys, Troy A's.
Boys.
Yeah. Look at that. It's cool.
Yep.
That is a nice car. Love that car.
Hopefully this year, sometime this year, pretty soon, we're going to see this back out.
I want to see that car go so bad.
I'd like to see it with some shiny wheels, but you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it works with the black wheels.
You built this Maverick. This is a no prep car, right?
Yeah, street race, no prep. Johnny Cammon's car. Yeah, it was intended. A lot of the cars that I intend to build for myself end up getting sold. So he ended up coming in the door. Actually, Nick Roberts posted a picture of it with his wheels underneath it one day, and then Johnny showed up and said, "Hey, what do you want to sell this for?" I'm like, "Really?" So it ended up being his car, and
don't get attached to it.
Yeah, I'm not getting attached to these cars now, but he's out racing it now, and that thing is unbelievably fast. Have you seen the videos of that thing?
Yes,
against those guys.
Pretty recent, within the last week. Yeah,
I'm like, holy cow! Once he gets this thing ironed out, this thing is going to be hard to beat.
Cool.
So it makes me feel proud. I mean,
yeah,
because that's one of the earlier cars. So
there's Doc McIntyre.
Doc McIntyre. We brought that Corvette in under cloak and dagger because he wanted to keep it a secret for a while, and so now that cat's out of the bag. But it was 63 split window Corvette. He needed some work done on it too. We did some extensive work on the front end and fuel cell in the back and moved some things around and actually got him to fit in the car. Had to move the brake pedals and a footrest. And so, it was a pretty good deal. They really liked it. They enjoyed it. Car is super light. And that's his, that's going to be where his Goodwin Hemi's going in. And car is ultra light. I mean, it's 1,600 horsepower NA motor in that car. We're going to see some sixes, in that car. So, So I wouldn't be surprised if his first outings he's going to hit sixes or right out the gate. So a car. Well, it's a well built car. I mean, got to hand it to the guy that built that car. He's did a really good job.
Do they plan on making drag week in September this year?
Yes.
Okay.
The last I heard, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Motor. I've seen shots of the motor in the car.
Ooh.
So,
This last little chunk of pictures is your shop coupe that you're building right now.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of like a brainchild of Callie Nate and I. What we wanted to build. So basically it's what it is. Engine set back 8 inches, big tire, small tire car, super lightweight. I skinned the whole car. It doesn't weigh a thing. I mean, I got the car from Johnny Cammon, customer of mine. He pulled that car out of a tree row, and I'm like, perfect. Because I don't want to build a no prep style car that's nice. I wanted to build something that I don't have to worry about, later down the road. So here's the chassis in the back. And these bottles were an afterthought. They were in the back, but the tubs were so big that they didn't leave room for the bottles. So I had to move everything around. I moved the battery over the axle. The bottles were over the axle. That's a nitrous bottle and a CO2 bottle. And then the fire system's going to hang off these other 2 lateral bars.
Okay.
So two 5-pound bottles are going to be in there. So, and then there's blowdown tubes going all the way to the back to the tank, and then they're going to carry on to the wing. Most people were going to have their tube out the trunk lid, but I wanted to try something different and go out the wing. So I'm going to have a little deal going there. So, yep. So cool. I love this car. It's a cool car. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
This is Gavin's car, right?
Yep, Gavin Lust's car. Yep.
It's getting a pretty giant makeover.
Yes, it is. It's a pro mod basically. But we're making it. We're making it for. It's still got stock frame rails in it up front. It's going to have stock floor pans in it. Weaved in it, and so it'll be able to do Pro Street and some other. I want it to enter a lot of classes. Is basically what I'm saying. So I wanted him to be able to use the car at any time, and so that's what we're doing. So engines in the factory firewall place. The firewall in these courier, they got a lot of the firewall sets way back in some spots and it sets way forward in others. So you just got to figure out how to make that work, with the rules, but I think we got it. And so car's going to be, it's a small block Ford twin turbo deal. He ended up buying my engine combination. And then he's got a floater rear axle, turbo 400 setup. It's going to be a cool car.
Nice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks so good on the ground. I mean, yeah, it looks so good on the ground with the wheels. He's got some really nice parts in this car. So he's going to be in for a shocker when he lets go of that training brake button in this car.
Yeah.
Totally. When do you think you'll have this one done?
We're getting close. I had to stop on it here this month and finish up another vehicle. But man, I'm projecting with all of this done now, doing the sheet metal work and carbon work in the back. I'd say realistically, the next couple months I should be able to be close. So yeah. And
Here's another project.
Yep, this is another one of those I wanted to try out, and it's a factory 4-link Mustang Fox body. I made a jig off of the current, the factory 4 links. So I made a jig, bolted everything on, and then I put these brackets on, and then I've just decided to do all the tubing, triangulation, and everything. So it's super stout, really lightweight, no frame rails in it. But this is going to be a limited car, and some no prep as well. So, but these mounts are raised up 2 inches from stock, so it allows the car to be lowered without having to change the geometry.
Cool.
So yeah, but it's a really cool build. I can't say enough about it. That's the latest version, of my cages. And so then we got a S550 in the background there. If you see it, it's getting a full cage setup for it too.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a nice setup. Twin turbo, FFR motor. It's more of a roll racer, car takeover car.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yep.
The last 2 I have here you sent of this young man.
Yeah,
What's he doing?
So I am doing some internships, and I have this guy right here. His name's Lucas, and Lucas goes to McPherson Automotive Restoration School.
Oh,
cool.
Right.
And he's green. He's learning from the get go. He doesn't know anything about cars, and I said, you know what? If I was to start over, I would do exactly what you're doing, because I learned a lot of bad habits, before I got into cars, but we got him, dialed in with decent stuff. He's doing some bead rolling, and he did some template work. And then he made these covers for the back of the front of the wheel tubs, the block offs behind the sides. And so they fit really nice. They're all welded in now. And good kid. Yeah. He's really smart, talented.
How old is he?
22. Yeah,
no kidding.
22.
Awesome.
He's got a Mustang. He's got a Mustang coupe that he's going to be restoring. So, been helping him with that. Guide him through what maybe he should do.
Man, that's awesome.
Not with it. Yeah. There might be a couple other kids that kind of come in and do internship too. So I kind of been kind of been enjoying that part, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's the end of the pictures we have.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a comment here. Tiffany Pickle says, "I can't wait to see you race in Arc City."
Yeah, me too.
Us too.
I'm ready to get back in a car. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So we talked about the story about Marty's chance. We didn't bring that up.
Oh, right. The Mako deal.
Yeah.
Out here at Wichita.
Yeah. I don't know, Rodney, if you heard about it. But it was we drove. Gary was with us that day, and we drove. We took the Mustang coupe to KID or
Yep.
WIR. I don't know what it was back then, but anyway, in 2010. Anyway, we got to the finals against Marty, and so after the run was over, Marty beat me by like so close, and we were leaving. I went to go to the gate to get my check, and Marty pulls up, and he gets out of the truck, and his stacker truck, and I'm coming out with my check, and my car's right there at the gate, and I have a trailer on the back of my car, and it has a golf cart, and he walks right up to me and goes, "You mean to tell me you drove that here and you almost won?" He goes, "That makes me want to turn around and burn this rig down right now."
That's great.
Oh yeah. That was the best thing I heard out of his mouth. That was so cool. And it made me, when he told me, it made me feel really good,
Yeah.
That's
That's great. That's
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, just gonna drive home. That's all.
Just gonna drive her home. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So yeah.
Charles says, "How far out is Keith on having work done?"
Oh my gosh.
After my Mustang.
It's a while. We are backed up quite a bit, and the shop is like a revolving door right now. It's just cars coming and going. I opened up my garage door, and just about 4:00, and a car drove in. So I got a Vega show up. We're doing a front end on next couple weeks. So he's got a race in mid-March. So
cool.
So yeah, but yeah, it's going to be a while before I can get any major cars in. So yeah, we got these Mustangs, and I've got 2 coupes waiting in the wings out here that I'm going to be building myself. One I may keep, or I may sell the one that I'm building right now, but one I may keep for racing around here with you guys. More of a X style car, X275 car. I think both of them are going to be built that way, carbon copies of each other, and they're both Texas cars. Actually, they're both from South Texas, clean, no rust. So I want to do something special with those, and then I got a hatch that's going to come in as well. That I want to make a daily driver car for daily driver class. So leave everything, full interior and everything in it. So might be a Coyote deal. So
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we got good help. My brother, he comes by every now and then and helps out. And then my part timer Todd, he's excellent work. I can't say he does great work. He's always willing to help out and willing to get in there and do the work that I asked. So, and excellent fabricator. So,
cool.
Yeah. So that's just us, It's just 3.
Yep.
We can do a lot of work in this small shop. So we'd like to build a 67 fastback one day.
Oh,
when I retire.
Right.
Yeah. That's when I retire. Yeah. Streetcar.
Well, Gary, do you have anything else?
I don't. We probably ought to wrap this up.
Okay.
This is our longest one yet.
Oh, was it really? Wow.
Yeah, I think
It
so.
goes by fast, doesn't it? I mean,
It does.
I just looked at the phone. I cannot believe it's 9:44. You were right, Gary.
Oh,
You were right.
it goes fast. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Fellas, it was nice talking with you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. If you got any special thanks you want to give out to businesses that help you or anything like that, this is your shot, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Gosh, where do I start? Innovators West. I can't say enough about those guys. Mark over at Advanced Engines. He's always helpful. Any questions, he's always answering, Mel Hammond and Ford, all the guys over there, Nick too, they're always willing to help me out no matter what. My vendors, Racecraft, 10 Soldiers, those guys ship stuff out right away. Even Tim McCamus, all those guys are just so good about helping out. Some guys that don't get talked about much. They're out there still, they're OG, Carl Loader, I kind of lean on him sometimes, and that guy's just a plethora of knowledge.
Yep.
He's such a good dude. And then, my help as well, Todd and Sean, and at times I have some other friends that show up, as well, help out. My customers, I couldn't do anything without you guys. I couldn't. I'm pretty blessed with all the work I get. And at times I'm thinking I'm overwhelmed with too much work, but then it could be the polar opposite, and I could be sitting twiddling my thumbs, and that's not good. So, especially for me. But my wife, especially, she's 24 years we've been together. She's been by my side, and she's supported what I did.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah. Gavin Lusk for pushing me to start this deal. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing it, because he's kind of like my crutch I could stand on to help out. He's good. So,
yep.
Gary, Rodney, you guys, Shannon Campbell, people I look up to. Without you, this wouldn't be happening. So for me,
right on.
And, right on. Happy to support.
Yeah,
Yep.
The welding tips, they're priceless. I got welding tips. I can get a hold of Gary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Shannon, got questions
between me and Shannon, we can hook you up.
Oh my God, yeah. It's crazy what you guys know, what you can help out with. Yep. I say that's about it. That's all I can think of right now. So
okay.
Well, you did a great job. A lot of great pictures and history about you, and it's Gary was along for the ride the whole way, so we know what Gary was doing at that time too. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. Good, yeah. Couldn't think of a guy to hang out with,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a lot of really cool stuff together.
Yeah.
And lots more to come, I promise.
You bet your ass. We're gonna do it.
There's a lot of fun surprises on the horizon.
Yeah, I can't wait. Rodney's getting his car out here soon, and the racing, and smell that fuel, smell that race fuel. Nothing better to get you going.
Tiffany Pickle says, great show. Love hearing more about my cousin racing, and it always makes my heart happy hearing racing is continuing in our family.
Cool. Thank you, Tiff.
What a great statement. And she says, my kids and I are so proud of Keith.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you, cuz.
Man, that's so cool.
You got some good family.
Yeah, that's good support.
Yep.
All right.
Man, Keith, thanks a lot for your time tonight. You should probably be in bed. Tomorrow's a work day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's about an hour and 40 minutes past my bedtime.
Yeah. So you can sleep in a little tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Dude, all right. Okay. Man, I love you like a brother, buddy.
Love you too, buddy.
Just, that. So
yes, I do.
We're gonna do some fun stuff down the road.
You bet.
Rodney included.
Yep.
I'm
Absolutely.
already at the track. You guys come on out.
Yeah.
He's
we'll
way
be there.
ahead of us. He has an engine on the stand.
Yeah.
Two.
I got a schedule and
Got
everything.
two,
You guys come racing.
Yes.
We are. That's right.
I think this is going to be a really good year for us, guys.
You bet.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, cool.
All right, Keith. We're gonna split.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you.
Okay. We'll
Bye.
see you soon, Keith.
Okay.
Woo-wee.
Woo-wee.
I had some great stories.
Yes. Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Man.
just like being local here, I knew a little bit about just at the end, though, talking through it, though, that's some good details, though. Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever do a drag and drive. The more stories I hear, the more I would not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of scenarios that can play out. Depends on what kind of car you take, what kind of goals you have in mind.
Yeah.
Do you take a race car or a little less of a race car? You just
Well, it looks like he had the most fun when he won the 14-0 class.
I think he did. I think he did.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good job. A lot of good pictures and stuff. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah. We knew he would be a great show with great stories.
Yeah, definitely.
And well, let's wind this up. Let's give a shout out again to our partners in 2025 Mid-America Dragway, Ultra Color Collision Repair, Titans of 10.5, the fastest small tire series in the Midwest, Mobile Recon Mobile Detailing, Sandlin Iron and Metal Auto Salvage, and Harry Street Carpet. Thank you very much for being awesome partners in 2025.
Thank you, Larry.
Yep. Larry, that was great. Thanks, Larry. Doug Perry, great show, guys. Lots of neat stuff tonight. Thanks, Larry. Doug and Larry and everybody. Heck yeah. Man, I'm tired. I'm ready to go.
All right. I know 4 o'clock's going to come early.
It is.
All right. Put it up.
All right. Let's roll down here. Now I got to find the deal. Doo. Okay. Ready?
Yep. Nice.
Ow.
Good
All right.
job, Gary. Another great show.
And sorry about the long length, and thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for your time, Rod. And it was fun. We knew it would be.
All right, bud.
Matt says, I'll go catch the tube channel. All right, Matt. We'll
go.
see you later. Everybody, we'll see you, and we'll do something next week. Good night.